Hello everyone, Connor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the ages, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pole. Hello everyone, you're listening to the Limited Set Differences podcast, the podcast where we chat all things cars, tractors, and all the yarns in between. I'm Connor, the dairy farmer and Honda guy.
I am Michael. I'm an engineer who tries to farm, and I buy a lot of scrap that ultimately I end up breaking more in the process.
And after that rigmarole from Michael, we're on episode.
We are on 84. Yes, 84. This was a very, very heavily planned episode. This episode definitely wasn't last minute at all.
So basically, this episode, the way it worked was, it fell so far down the rabbit hole that it ended up in New Zealand, and we got two people that were working in New Zealand, thankfully, to come back to Ireland, and they were here.
We were supposed to, and you will see it in the next coming weeks, you'll see a big video coming out in the next few weeks, and that's what we were hoping to talk about in this podcast. But getting the whole team together to talk about it, it's a really, really exciting thing coming up. If you've been watching socials, you'll probably have half an idea of what it is. You'll have seen videos and stuff like that.
You'll have seen a TikTok.
You'll have seen a few TikToks.
There's
a very familiar tractor floating about a certain video company's TikToks at the minute. So there's
no point saying much more.
We don't want to say much more. It's really, really exciting. And in a way, a dream come true. But that's all for that podcast when we get the time to sit down and talk about it as a collective group, because completely. It's
in one sentence, that day did not feel real.
No, that didn't, and we're going to leave you hanging on that.
I mean, if you really do research, you can put two and two together, but
it's pretty obvious.
For now, we're not going to put two and two together.
So apologies for we missed a week. This episode was obviously supposed to be out last weekend. Look, we're a week late. It sort of does fuck up the way we're going to do things going forward, because Donegal's next weekend, and it's going to be pretty hectic too. I'd imagine we'll be back at King of the Cone as well. You'll not be there the full weekend.
No,
I will be. I'm going to try and see a wee bit of the rally this year, so it'll be something else to talk about when we do our podcast after the rally. Hopefully with whoever's won King of the Cone or Queen of the Cone, depending on who's wanting to come on, or both of them.
Ideally both of them.
Ideally both would be great, to be fair. So that'll be good. But yeah, it's just been a mental 3 weeks. To be honest, there's that much happened. I nearly can't remember.
You're not joking. Everybody says about life throws you curveballs, but by
Correct.
God, there's been a bouncy ball. No, not a bouncy ball. You know the big balls you sit on?
It's like an anvil's been dropped in your head, Connor.
Yeah, literally.
Do you remember the Looney Tunes shoes? The
yes.
Acme, this stuff, yeah.
Now, see this past month has been...
It's been mental.
Well, I suppose a big question to ask you, Michael, is obviously it is around that time of the year again. You've obviously you've two cars now at the minute that you're contemplating on taking down to the big weekend.
Yeah.
Is the Sierra going to make it the year?
Sierra probably would make it, to be honest. Like the Sierra, I've new brakes to go in the front. I've got a set of big meaty BMW 7 Series brakes to go in the front and bigger discs, but I haven't got the discs yet. So that's why, moving on to the other one, the Lexus has been put on the left, because the Lexus needed a back box. It was away there actually with Aaron Doherty, or Aaron Jackie as he's known. He is an absolute wizard when it comes to AS300 for all the age of him. He's like 23. He's an absolute wizard. Lives in the middle of nowhere, well, north of nowhere, outside Clonmany. Basically, do you know where the Memorial Gap is?
So he lives where the music festival is?
Yeah, just around the corner from Clonmany. But any Sierra boys listening will know the Memorial Gap as well. From 2 or 3 years ago. He's basically up beside it, like.
From alleged happenings.
From alleged happenings, Danny Tolan may or may not have coiled a couple of tyres off the back of the car in that place, but I can neither confirm nor deny if that happened.
Obviously, it didn't happen.
Of course not. That was a great day. The weather played so much. That was a great day. There was just a lot of things that made that particular day great, and a lot of things that made that day bittersweet. When you look back at the videos and all from it, obviously with people who aren't here anymore and all that, but he's done a bit of work for me on it, and she went up, and you were with me. We took her on an extended drive down one of the lanes for a bit, and she was brake calipers. It's the Achilles heel nearly of a Lexus. Is the front brake calipers. She was seizing the brake calipers.
Well, we shot a Patreon on it.
Yeah, we did on that extended lane, and she wouldn't rev out. Like, she was just dead. It turned out the MAF sensor was gone on her. So there's a new MAF sensor in her. I had her sort of half stripped, and I was like, I put it in Snapchat going like, oh, what it could be. And I mean, everybody's like, it's definitely your coil packs, it's definitely your MAF sensor, it's definitely your throttle body. Someone even said, your car's definitely down in compression. It was a MAF sensor. So thankfully it was nothing else other than that. But it's like going on the Sierra page, someone's like, oh, this happened to my car, and someone's like, oh, this happened to me, it was a crank sensor, this happened to me, it was the distributor, this happened to me, it was a bad earth. And it's like, there's about a million reasons as to why these things can happen. So I would like to bring the Lexus to the Rally of the Year. I'd love to have had it manual converted, but I don't have the time.
No.
There's just too many moving parts. I'd rather have an MOT. To be honest, like, for like Friday, I'd like to go and do the stages, and then just maybe go into the town after. Saturday we'll be videoing, because we're videoing the Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll be there from the get go. It'll be a hectic enough day. I won't even have time. I know, like, last year I took the Sierra in for the first couple of runs, but not even that worried about doing that this year. If anything, I might get a run in somebody's car maybe on the Sunday. So we'll see what the crack is there. We might head up on the Sunday. Would you be there? Depends.
I don't know. To be honest, there's no point in saying a definite for. I don't know what part of the Rally I'll see this year. The EP3 needs a wee bit of TLC. Release bearing is whining like a bitch, and from what I can gather, the clutch, when last year we done the coastal route, going up Ballycastle Hill, turns out that constantly blipping and being on the biting point of the clutch, I probably have scorched the clutch plate on her. So we have a new clutch lying there, and thankfully Reese Bruce
is Reese coming over,
Reese
isn't he?
and Kelvin are thankfully going to come over, and I'm going to get a lend of your transmission jack, or Becca number 1.
Yeah, you can tear away with it now.
Becca number 2 can come if she wants to give a hand, but that's up to her.
When do you need it? Because I still need to put a diff on the Sierra.
Wednesday.
Right, aye. I'll do the Sierra Monday night then. All been well. I just have to get short and bolts for the back plate.
So
I'll throw the
it needs a clutch in it. So if I'm there, if I'm not, you get to see Mr. Famous here anyway. But do you know something? This last month has been such a strange time and all that. That the last thing in my head has been is the rally, which is ironically for the last couple of years. Obviously, it has been basically the event of the year.
Yeah, and there's always times you're like, Donegal, like, what's it going to be? But at the same time, you'd be absolutely gutted if you missed it.
Oh, completely.
That's one of them things where, like,
I will say something, and I suppose it's like anybody that's maybe out there or listening or that's listening, obviously, that maybe are going through a tough time or whatever. It's funny. See, whenever life throws you a curveball, the last thing you can think of is good things that you have in life.
100%. But as David Kennedy once said on the pod a few episodes ago, you throw all your problems up in the air and everybody else throws their problems up in the air, you'd be very quick to catch your own problems again. So that saying's actually something that's stuck by me in recent times. I'm thinking, Jesus, this is bad here. But I'm like, if I was faced a problem that I have, or even a problem that you've maybe had recently, I'd be picking you might actually be picking my problem too, in fairness. But like but it's one of them things where I'm like, Jesus, like this is, but I can control this. It is what it is. This has happened. This man, I don't know how I'd react in that position. Just stuff like that.
Oh, I know, and ugh, I sound very is cynical. The word for it.
Hey, it's not the listener's business. It's not even really my business.
No,
but,
it's
but it's you have had a fairly fucking hard whack of it recently, like.
but thankfully, slowly but surely, we're coming out the other end, the better.
Well, yeah,
Just a
definitely.
slow process,
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose now to brighten up people's minds that I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. So, Michael, you have a Fiat 11090.
Yes.
But what is an issue with a Fiat 11090?
Tin worm.
Yes. But what's another issue with a Fiat 11090?
Lack of turbo from the factory.
Yes. But what's the main issue with a Fiat 11090?
Jokes aside, lights. Lights are terrible from the factory.
What did you do, though, to sort that?
I fitted a set of UTV headlights. It genuinely was the best thing I ever done.
So to like turn night into day?
Turned the light in the day.
Nice. Guys, get on to UTV lights for all your applications, whether it be for your work lights in the tractor or whether it be your headlights for the tractor.
Whether you want to do spraying, slurrying, or even construction, it's all there. And if they currently don't make lights for your tractor, don't lose heart, because their engineers at heart, they were more than happy to work with you.
So for all your premium LED light needs, get on to UTV lights. So, as you've heard me trying to be more positive, so something interesting happened a while ago there at home.
Right.
So the wee tractor threw up a fault code,
Okay.
and she needed regen basically, right?
Okay.
And after the regen, she threw up a fault code, and then whenever we looked it up on the internet,
You realised you under 3 years.
no, 2 years coming now.
2
actually.
years.
2 years.
When does warranty run out?
Last year. And it was an AdBlue fault.
Of
And
course.
we were like, there's only one way to fix that, allegedly.
Yep.
And that
Look at
was
lock and key
to get that was to get Willie Brown out. And
to do absolutely nothing to the
He fixed the
AdBlue at all.
issue.
Yeah,
He just fixed the
Yeah,
issue.
it just.
and the tractor now goes better.
You don't think he might have maybe made a couple of adjustments to computer code or anything with the tractor and done
No,
anything like?
but it came with a dyno, and I'll tell you one thing: she's a fit 5711. Hey, I'm telling you, she dynoed at 120 at the shaft. That's 10 horsepower over what the book
Oh,
was telling.
seriously? Even prior till
No.
oh, prior to a couple of computer codes get changed.
So, on the supposedly they're only 95 horsepower, and
Hey,
how fat a going thing is theirs? Not for 120.
120's plenty, like for a wee tractor, like.
Oh, and her not even touched.
Aye. Definitely not at all.
And funny, like whenever yarning away, and the brother said, like she came up and he done a regen. I don't know what way he done a regen on her, but
You
anyway,
can force a regen on them.
he said, "Oh, I put her in the regen motor of her, and she was lying there revving the dung of herself for half an hour."
Hmm.
And I was like, "How fucking long is that tractor?" It literally said like 20 minutes left, and then William ended up coming, and he was saying, how long have you had this tractor?" And we were like, 2 years, and he was like, "She must have done a right wee bit of work then." We're like, "How can you tell, if you know what I mean?"
Hmm.
She's mixed slurry, she's driven diet feeder and all. He's like, she's only had 2 regens. I was like,
Aye,
Two.
because she's been opened up lately all the time, on the.
I like 2 and 1200 hours.
Aye,
I was like, that's some going.
aye, because she's getting worked.
So maybe need to get the green chiller or something onto her, for that
I think, to be honest, that's probably how it'll be going forward, is even down here. So you've kind of led me on quite kind of nicely to like.
I didn't even mean to lead them on, but here you are.
You've always led me on, Connor.
Oh, don't.
No, so as you know, a while ago I bought a Mach 6 off Taylor Jackson, who is actually one of the guests on this week's podcast. So we decided to try her out at a few acres at mine a couple of Sundays ago. When during that time, we actually had sun for like 3 days, and it was interesting to say in the least. So we went and lifted a couple of tractors and trailers to help out with the grass here, and then Darren, he had mowed it the day before, and then he came and raked it. So I tested my harvester. Whenever Darren mowed it, I tested it in one 10-foot row, and she was running the best, and I was like, all right, no bother. And we got on to her anyway, and went on the first row. You pulled up beside me in the trailer that was built high, but I'd asked the sides to stay on because I have a big massive shoe extension. But what I didn't realise is that to be honest, this is going to sound very vulgar, but my spout nearly reminds me of a fucking limp cock. Because it just goes up and then goes down. It's, if you look at any other harvester in the country, they all go and point up, and then the flap is supposed to control the direction of the grass. As you've seen with mine, the flap does absolutely nothing. So
the flap doesn't get a chance.
But the thing
you
is,
need to
right,
fix your flaps.
always fix. Very good. Gotcha. But I think
Michael got a vulgar humour.
I actually think I've looked at a rake of other Pottingers, and mine.
Say you've looked at a rake of spouts.
Well, kind of from that, and mine has like a longer.
Hide yourself in the toilets.
I've had
Sorry.
I've had like the flappers, and most of them tend to be a real short connection, whereas mine's is really long. It's hard to describe, but basically, someone has like not only have they left my spout or my chute way up, but it's also longer than a normal one. Yeah, I know, Connor. I know. Try and remain professional if you can. But basically, she was hanging low. She needed the Viagra like to work like, and there was none available that day. So basically, whenever we came into a corner, she just blew all the grass off the side of the trailer. Like,
and I'll say a wee Easter egg. Not even holy water would fix her.
And then that was alright. We were coming, so we'd done a row where that was fine, and then we came into the second row, and the next thing we were looking, and it was like, Michael, that auger's not turning. And then it was like the rail was going, and the feed rollers were going, and the auger wasn't turning, and it was like, huh. And basically, someone beforehand had there's the cog that's attached to the sprocket that's attached to the auger shaft. Yeah, it snapped off. Someone had been at it before, had put it on skew if, and put one wee tack of weld on it. I don't know who done it, but it really wasn't an ideal solution.
The other thing I noticed about it was the keyway that they had used. So obviously it was a cog that's meant to have a thingy on it, like a slot, to go in place.
Yeah.
But it had a wee keyway that was actually welded on to the cog.
Mm-hmm.
But the keyway was literally the same keyway as what my Lely sweeper's wheels use.
Aye.
The reason I know that is because Dickhead McGee here tried to change the wheels on a sweeper at a time above the slats.
Oh no.
I didn't know there was a keyway in the place. And as soon as I popped it out, the keyway was obviously at the bottom. And it just went straight down through the slats.
It's at the bottom of your tank.
And put it this way, I was like, the sweeper was at this stage it was lifted up, so the top of the front of the sweeper was up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't put it down because I couldn't put wheels on it because obviously I lost the keyway.
Yeah.
So I got a few extras, and thankfully we've not needed any more. But I now have 2 keyways lying along with my cufflinks in a wee pot and a drawer in the house.
Nice. As
a reminder to me being a dipshit.
Mm.
But I was like, I know where that came from.
Well, basically what we did was we put it back on, filled it with weld, and touch wood, it hasn't looked at a problem since.
The only thing I would say is, see, whenever you have something like that, having an engineer be the man that owns it is a bit of a nuisance.
Why?
Because obviously it was working with the wee tack of weld. It would only work better with a full round ring of weld.
That's what I did.
Yes. But you fucked about for a good hour. And I was like, I have milking to do.
What did I fuck about doing?
It's not straight. It's not this way. It's not that way. It's
No, it
this
needs,
way.
but it needs to be straight.
Well, it was still working whenever it wasn't.
I know, but you need, like, you could see there was wear
The
in the
best of
sprocket.
it was he was going to not physically fight with me, but he was going to verbally fight with me about what way the chain was meant to go on. And I was like, that chain's definitely not going on the right way. Michael insists that it goes on over. It goes over. Michael insisted that
Aye,
it
it goes
went on
over
a
the
different
tensioner.
way.
Yeah.
I was like, no. That's not getting any tension on it. Yes, it does. He put it on that way, and I
It
was like,
was wrong.
that's still not right.
Yeah, that was wrong. Connor was right. I was wrong. So I am the engineer, but I'm also the idiot. But it was, so yeah, Louis.
Sometimes Michael just is book smart.
At times, yeah. And then we got into the heavier row because I had the bright idea of blowing all the chopped grass into a row,
Aye, that turned into
which meant
a not so bright idea.
which
Then.
resulted in me blocking her twice.
I thought we had went through. I thought you put that row in the.
No, I done a bit of it, and then I was like, "That's hard in her. We'll do that at the end."
Oh, because you were going up. You were going up the hill in that row.
Yeah, I should have went in the crawler. Taylor just put her in the crawler box because I drove the other tractor, then one of the other tractors, and I let Taylor tear away on her, like, because him and Dylan came down then to see her. And to be fair, when the boys you bought the harvester off come down and stand with you and literally help you read the spout out and read the flywheel out, I think, I made a couple of digs at Taylor during that podcast, but like, if that's not customer service, like, what is, like? Do you
That's
know,
what happens when you sell stuff to a man that runs a podcast because they can badmouth you to a lot of folk. The other thing I suppose about it is,
them boys said it was the best crack they had, even though we were having to dig the harvester out. Like, I know you had to get away early, but it was still us messing about the tail end of the day. And Dylan and Taylor were both like, that was the best crack. They were like, that was class. Just
see, for the amount you lifted that day, for the eventual plan that happened the following day,
yeah,
oh my days, fuck, it was optimistic. To be
yeah, it
honest with
was.
you.
But I think going forward, even for me with my own grass, what I'm going to do is just 10-foot rows and go a wee bit harder to just keep her filled with 10-foot rows and run a full set of knives in her, because see the chop quality I was getting in the field.
It's not. I wouldn't say quality. It's the chop length.
Chop length, sorry. The chop length was really short, and I was like, deadly. So I'm not even contemplating buying a straw chopper anymore, like, because I don't need it. If that's the way that's going to chop,
You just
like
gonna
the-
fuck a bale into her and blow it out the spout.
I just don't really plan on doing bales going forward. Like,
What do you straw? What? But
I had thought about buying a straw chopper because the bales are all longer length, and I had thought that harvester would have been chopping nearly at a wagon length, because I thought she was half knives, half paddles, but she's full knives, half paddle. Well, she's 9.
would you ever put in full paddles?
I don't know if the Fate would be able to do.
Oh, fair enough,
I don't think the Fate would be able to run her, to be quite honest with you. Maybe, to be fair, on a 10-foot row, maybe. But 20 foot, I don't know. Look, the Fate handles it okay, but it is slow. It is slow, and I think that's why a 10-foot row would be better. You could go up, if you were going up a field 3 times faster on a 10-foot row than you would be on a 20-foot row. If you're doing twice as fast in a 10-foot and on a 20, it kind of makes no difference. But if you're going 3 times faster, like if you could go up in medium second rather than the crawler box, do you know, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
And sure, if you got 30 acres, like even 20 acres, 2 trillers and a man in the buck rake, you'd be flying, like.
It's today's crack at the end of the day too.
And that's all it is. You have the radios, you can chat shit to each other and mouth off, and yeah, just that'd be good enough crack, like, to be fair. And sure, if Darren can put his tractor on one of the trillers and you can put your wee Massey in the other trailer, that's just a fuck about session, like.
Literally, yeah.
So I think
I
really
suppose that brings us on nicely till
Taylor, yes, to we've kind of right. Well, poor Charlie hasn't really got a mention. Taylor's obviously got mentioned a few times.
So God help, well, not God help. So Charlie had come in. He had essentially, he's a neighbour of mine, and he had decided to go down under for work there last winter, or for the season last year.
Yeah.
So, he was
Last
home.
winter for the summer, because it's obviously the other way around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So essentially, he had called into the yard, and we were yarding away, and you had said, "Look, this is falling through tonight. you know, like, what are we going to do? And then I had the bright idea, as a different take, because obviously it's around that time of the year you would be talking about silage. What about getting someone that's done down under? And I was like, well, Charlie's my neighbour, and he's a good speaker and all that. There, like, there's no better man probably. And he's working to Connor McLaren, so like, he could talk a wee bit about that too as well, if it led that way. And you were like, hold that thought, and then you said, yep, that actually sounds like a good idea. So Charlie was luckily enough not at Wild Lot yesterday evening.
And then there was Taylor.
So, to be honest,
this ended up being...
it's not that it was never going to go well, or that it wasn't going to go well. It's more the fact it's probably up there with one of my favourite podcasts for the
100%.
sheer
That was
crack that
yeah,
it was
it
had.
was so funny.
Like, we were an hour and a half talking pure shite
It was literally
beforehand.
pure scar, like.
And, like, the two of them bounced off one another.
Yeah. But the thing is, there were two lads who were very respectful to each other, and ironically, they lived closer together in New Zealand than they do here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, yes.
So, yeah. So, without further ado, here is Taylor Jackson and Charlie Johnston talking about the land down under. Actually, I think that's mainly Australia, but for all things
Talking
considered,
about the kiwi grass.
the kiwi grass.
So we're joined here by Charlie and Taylor.
If I said your name right this
I know
time.
it's about time.
Wait, what did you say his name?
I said Taylor in one of the
He
first...
called me Tyler after he was telling everybody about how he put his headlights on upside down.
That actually did happen.
Obviously, it wasn't with Taylor's instructions. Yeah, that.
No, more like destructions.
I didn't send him instructions.
No, I just assumed
That's
I would
what
do-
you. That's what you
I
get
thought
going,
that, you
yeah.
see, it's where it says top on them. I thought most people could put that to the top.
Does it actually have that on
It does, yes.
That explains that then.
We've now just found out why they put do not eat soap on the back of soap bars nowadays.
Do not drink the battery acid.
So with Taylor and Charlie on with because we've all been like mad about silage and all that there, and it's kind of in the peak of it, and we have a few other silage related things going on at the minute, but we kind of wanted to hear what's it like in the north side of the world. So
To be honest, right? we
did not maybe
have
bring this
any
up
real-
about 3 years ago.
To be honest, I like the way Michael has tried to be professional with this, but I'll break the fourth wall like he normally does.
He's talking shit.
That part will be edited out.
So essentially, Charlie arrived into the milking parlour, and for a bit of a yarn, bit of crack, and I was like, I have a fucking idea. So I messaged Michael and I goes, right, the original thing for the night, we thought we were only going to be the two of us. I was like, I have an idea. This man's been down under the world, obviously.
Under who?
I know you were calling this a castle push 5 minutes ago.
And he's done a bit of silaging down under. So,
And I've been trailed here.
allegedly.
So then it was basically like
So I text Michael, I was like, oh, I have an idea. And then Michael's like, oh, I can add to that idea. And this is the idea.
I know, I was sitting on my sofa and I seen Michael Scullin was typing, and the next thing Michael Scullin was calling. And I was like, oh dear, what have I done now?
Hello, Taylor. My Mac 6 is broke again.
I was like, how could he break it? It's
Yes.
raining, he's obviously not left the silage with it.
It's Michael.
Never, ever just doubt my stupidity. Like,
Well, to be fair, that is very true.
yeah, just always assume
And
I'm
that's
dumb.
actually a good point when I think about it. You see, if you'd have been in New Zealand, technically you'd put the headlights on the right way up.
that's a good point actually. I think
Please
that's
do not confuse this man any further.
Well, we
That
weren't.
man wakes up confused. I can't tell add to that.
I didn't
But you
even-
see, he's going to edit out every part where I abuse Michael, so it's just going to be a podcast. This is Taylor. And then that's
I
it.
did nothing.
Thank you for listening to the Limited Slip Disc, which is podcast.
Just crickets.
This one time I said his name right.
I don't know why I don't know why I kept. I think it was because.
That's a common thing, but
but I think this was in the early days. Maybe we'd recorded with Tyler at the time.
That's the only thing I can think of.
and
But
it
then
was-
again, she's a woman, and you would assume that.
are you saying I'm pretty?
Have it full. I just swallowed a flight.
No, I get Taylor a lot. Like, I don't know why. It's Taylor's more common name, really.
Aye, because yeah, but it's nice to be different,
Nah.
special.
I just get called special by a special person.
It wouldn't be
Takes
hard.
one to know
I
one.
don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
It's community.
It's a community.
By fuck, there's been some shite talk the first 6 minutes here.
I know we're just gonna hit it edit the whole first 6 minutes.
So basically, the reason why Taylor and Charlie have come on this pod this evening is they've had experiences, obviously, working down under in New Zealand at the silage.
Not necessarily just silage, or mainly silage.
Maize as well. Silage and maize.
So,
2 main things.
therefore, obviously, we've talked enough about silage up here.
We
in
will talk
NI.
about it more.
I
in
cut
bed.
barley and stuff, if that counts. That's different.
That is different.
No,
That's
that's different.
special.
That's true. So, for a wee fresh take on silaging, the two lads are on the night for. They've obviously had different experiences with doing silage and working with contractors down in New Zealand.
Ironically, they're probably closer than they actually live here.
Yeah.
It's always the way,
Because
though.
you always go, because you go to the
Always
other
the
side of the other, you go to the other side of the world to literally be closer to people.
Well, it's funny you say this. I'm going to jump on straight on my story. So the first year I was in New Zealand, two seasons, 2 winters, and the first season I manged down.
Winter for us, I assume, not winter, obviously in New Zealand.
I winter here, somewhere right there, and the first year I was working on the South Island, and I was only an hour and a half's drive from Queenstown, and Queenstown's a good party spot, but New Year's in Queenstown especially, and so me and Tristan, the chap that was living with me, we set sail to Queenstown for New Year's, and we went onto the Irish pub on New Year's Eve. That's the place to go. And I was standing waiting in the queue to get into the bar and get myself a non-alcoholic beverage because I wasn't drinking when I got there, you know.
Child of God.
So anyway, I was standing and I started chatting to this boy. He was called PJ and he's from Donegal, and I said, that's close to home. So I went up and I got my double fucking Red Bull.
Non-alcoholic.
There was an outdoor sitting area, and I says, Jesus, I'll go out the outdoor sitting area because you're looking onto the water now, like it's well nice, but it's a warm day. Because out there, there's this thing called a summer with the sun.
What's
And-
that?
Burns.
Eh?
Burns badly.
I walked out, and there was a boy, Kyle Fleming, standing from Korean. Didn't know he was in New Zealand, or he was standing. And there was this boy, started chatting to this boy. There was a table full of him. And this boy was telling me about my dad. I never met this boy in my life. But he worked. My dad's a well good friend, a close friend. It's a contractor, and he worked at him. That's how he was fit to tell me about my dad and stuff. I ended up, I had a connection to all the people at the table. And actually, 3 years later, I was at a young farmers event, and I was chatting to this girl. She was with a friend of mine, and I got recognised when she went, but we couldn't figure out how. And we loaded up a photo from that day she was sitting at that table.
Holy fuck. That's unreal. I love that.
The world's a very small place.
That's a small place. So don't do anything out there you wouldn't do here, because there's somebody will see you.
But I think
You wouldn't be up to that anyway.
No, I wouldn't up that.
But it's one of them things, but like people do tend to go like, I mean, in fairness, you did go to an Irish bar, and probably the biggest drinking spot in New Zealand.
I did, yes.
And what do we love doing over here?
Drinking.
Exactly.
And chatting about tractors and silage. And that's exactly what I done. I mind chatting to a boy about square billers, but that was an enjoyable conversation.
But
It
here,
turned out, that's a funny one. It turned out his dad used to be a contractor with a square biller, and his dad sold up. I can't remember if it was all Huff or what. And I sold a biller to a customer of mine.
Fucking hell.
Swear to
you
God.
can't go far.
No, I can't go far. The next time I went was worse.
Why?
I went to, so when I was working in North Island the next year, and so I said, me and Tristan, we went out together. Next year we met each other out there the first year, and we went out together the next year. And we says, oh, we'll go down to Queenstown for New Year's class, and then we'll go and see your friends, and I'll work to the year before. And walked into the bar, ordered a drink, went out, and there was a boy Gareth Fitchy stand that I went to school with, stand looking at me, and a pile of folk I knew, and I was walking out through, and I heard that, you know, I hope I don't offend any of our Ballymoney listeners, but that's
okay.
right, hey, I was hitting a tractor there the other day. I said, geez, Young's boys are far from home. Says, ended up, I sat at that table all day, and we drunk our full, just trays of stuff kept landing. I sat at that table nearly all day, boys from one boy's from Ballyclare, a boy from sort of Lochgill direction, and there's 2 other boys, can't remember exactly where they're from, and they're one of the boys I've been in frequent contact with yet.
That's unreal. Like,
See, whenever you went out then, who did you go to work to?
Go on your head, Charlie, I've chatted enough there. Time for your wee minute of glory.
I worked with a boy called Arnold Ag.
how do you like? Did you raw dog it and just say I'm away and wing it, or did you plan it properly? Like, how do you do it? Because I'm thinking, if there's one, say, 18, 19, 20 listening to this, and they're thinking, Jesus, I would love to go New Zealand. How do you do it?
First thing, if you're thinking about it, go for it. Because you don't, you'll regret it.
Totally agree.
Something I wish I'd done.
Regret it.
But I think it's actually a good thing here because you want a completely different way about it than I
I
did.
did. Aye.
At least we can get both
So we can get both
experiences.
sides. So go ahead, Charlie, you explain how you went.
I seen it coming up on my TikTok and Facebook. It was a crowd called Ag Work New Zealand. And
Pretty to the point with the name, in fairness. Like,
yeah, it literally says, it does what it says in the tin.
Funny, I've seen them on my TikTok quite recently, actually. They've been from quite recently.
They are very good. Like, you just message them and email them of what you want to do or where you want to go. If you want to go north or south, I wanted to go north.
but why did you want to go north?
Cause a cousin of mine was out in the
Right,
North Island,
okay.
and he said
yes.
it was very like home, and I just said, you know what, see what happens.
Classic Irish. Going out because it feels like home.
Well, let me tell you, it's not. It's nearly worse at times. But no, I
As
went
Taylor
through.
says, going into a bar knowing everyone.
You go to the farthest away from home as you can. Like, the only way to go any further from home is actually head back towards home again. I started looking at somebody that actually me and him used to beat the head off each other in school, and then we turned out friends after.
It's a fairy tale ending, that.
It's kind of cute. Though.
Happy ending.
I'm still coughing from
It's
that fucking flight.
a good enough fairy tale. And then everybody lived happily ever after.
Pure romance.
No, I wouldn't just go that far.
No, I went through Ag Work New Zealand, and they helped me with like the visa. Told you how to set it up, what way to go for it, and then they got you through a travel agent to do your flights. But before that, they got you interviews with different employers to whenever you find the one you want to go to.
So, do you actually have to interview? Because you know, over here, if you want a job drawn for a contractor,
I just go.
It's a friend of a friend who knows a friend.
Or your neighbour or something.
Ah,
But no, you have to do interviews, and then you also have to get checked through references and stuff like that for like two
Seriously?
different employers. Because I just don't want any scallywag going creating more issues than they should. Like,
So in theory, if you have never drove to a contractor before,
you still can go.
oh, okay.
You still can go.
but expect to be put on the irrigator or something like that, or
But no, they'll teach you.
would they teach you?
Oh,
Like,
I
would
See
they
what I
teach
find
you?
about New
experience.
Zealanders. You see, if you don't know, they will
Just
show
say.
you the letter of the law. But you see, if you say you can do it and you can't, that's a different story. They
You're
hate
gone.
that. That's worse than somebody not knowing what they're doing or somebody that says they know what they're doing.
Funny, I've heard that even.
But
in
you see, to
other
be
videos.
fair, personally, that stuff annoys me. You see, when you are trying to show somebody something and they say, oh, they know how to do it, and you leave them 2 minutes and they've all hang gathered up in the ball,
Yeah, it's
you know, it is really frustrating.
You'd nearly rather someone play themselves down and
Ah.
let them tear on and be like, oh, actually, they're doing all right.
But that's the best policy. But you know, if you do play yourself down, then if you do good work someday, then everyone thinks, Jesus, he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's-
Or if you say, what do you call it? This boy, I'm brilliant, and all the rest. Nobody's brilliant, nobody's perfect. No. And then you make a fuck up. Well, you done that this year. You know what I mean?
Because I remember, like, I can't remember if it was a Grassman video or if it was even like around the time when Grassman first came out. There was like Mod 6920s and there was John Anderson and all those guys. And one of them they were either in New Zealand or Australia, and one of the things they'd said was like boys coming out and they were trying to let on they'd done X, Y, and Z and hadn't done any of it. And the next thing they're saying they're sent out in the trouble more. And boys absolutely just wrecking things like, and I'd be terrified of going on a trouble more.
Oh, one of the best jobs of the whole lot.
I can see how it'd be very satisfying.
That's
but,
great.
Aye, but I don't know. I just think like it's nearly hard enough. I've got a side mounted topper there end of last year, used it for the first time there properly the other night. And I was like, how do boys move silage? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going up the field here and it's like that.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Michael, if I get a good date, I'm out mowing. You want to come and learn, I'll teach you.
Good enough.
So whenever you get in contact then with Ag Work New Zealand and you
Oh,
went
yeah.
through all,
Back at our
so how far in advance, Charlie, did you actually contact them before you went out?
I think it was March or April. They opened their like contracting applicants.
Yes.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
And then went through that, and then got it all sorted around. Everything was sorted before August, I think. And then
What-
I was out at the end of September.
What personally did you tell them at the time that you wanted to do?
Yeah, just wanted to do agriculture contracting because if you want to do dairy farming as well, you can go through them,
Okay, yeah.
or even sheep and beef, you can go through them. That's
Why
more
would
down
you
to
want to
the
go out and do sheep?
stupidity.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Hopefully, I didn't offend
Well,
anybody
to be
there.
fair, the Welsh boys love sheep. Like, there was a boy, Yola. I don't know if he listens, but if he listens, Yola, we shout out to you. But what do you call it? Like, he worked on a farm that I done baling for the first years out, and like he become friends with us. Like, he used to go out drinking and all this, but he was out there working on a big sheep farm. Man loves sheep. I personally really
Well, that
hate.
makes sense that he's from Wales, like.
And sorry to all the sheep people, but they're white woolly vermin bastards.
I actually, I was with a customer earlier on the day, and he was just talking about like the way like the lambing, and I was just like, there's no part of this that all sound desirable, and you're giving up annual leave of your work for this. Like,
Well, like I had to do 1 week of lamb and sheep. No, I had no
Sorry for your
experience
loss.
beforehand. Or
Here
no
to
experience
support you,
beforehand.
We're here for
Cheers.
emotional support.
But what got me was, I think it was maybe 3 days into it. Now I had best friend from Greenman at the time. Me and him decided we would do the week slam and whatever, and back crack and all
Nah.
that, you know. But 3 days into it, we were lambing a ewe, or well, I was lambing a ewe anyway, and the lamb out alright. I mean, the ewe stood up and she just keeled over. I went, the fuck was wrong with her? And he just went, she's foam out of her mouth, don't know. Like we
Did.
literally. So whenever they say they love to break out or die,
no, it's true. It's normally
They do
break out
love-
then.
But you
day.
see New Zealand, like, you're going to feel here, like, there's maybe 100 sheep on it, there's like 1,000 sheep on it, and you see if like 10 on a day, geez, that's not so bad, that's only 10. I went to sow grass seed one day, and I had to sow around the dead sheep, and see him mowing grass. I heard a wild bang one day, and looked, and I was in the fluff going up the field. I was lucky, but imagine that they got stuck on it and had to get out in the redder.
oh,
There's no falling stock there, nothing out there, like.
Is there not?
They're allowed,
they
to,
just-
they're allowed to bury it. You hate to bury it, you take it home and bury it, like.
Just big hole.
Take a home berry.
Just that bit of a job. It's literally what I do for a job is rendering plants.
A rendering plant, what's that? Is that,
Rendering to
like,
the
is that like
stage.
an incinerator?
Kinda. So fallen stock would get like crushed down, and then gets
Nice.
cooked in fat, and basically they'll separate in solids and fat. You get your meat and bone meal, you get your fat or your oil, which becomes tallow, and then if there's water, that can be like concentrated up for extra protein.
Well, say every day's a learning day. I just learned what happened.
That's right. Literally,
I thought they just got incinerated.
that's what I thought too. To be fair, and then he told me not.
I had to have a long shower after work today. So
I think his
Right,
wife
that-
makes him do like 2 or 3 showers because he would
I
smell.
have had to do that before, and because it's so warm, because you're dealing with steam and heat and all,
That's right.
it gets into your pores.
Like slurry would be mild.
Slurry's nothing compared to render. Slurry would have a nastier stink off it, but rendering's like warm, it's like burnt hair.
Is it like
It'll stay on
linear?
you longer.
It doesn't leave. Like my Jeep literally smells like the plant in the moment. Like
So again, going back to Charlie's experience, did you? I suppose they obviously outlined all the points you had to make. Showed you-
not sheep.
so it was foolproof, sort of
In
method.
a sense, aye. And if you had any, like, say if you're worried about the travelling or anything, or if you did have any issues, it would help
What?
you. Because they
You mean,
could,
like-
like, you could text them any time, they'll reply to you, because there's an office in England and an office in New Zealand, if you
yes.
understand me.
Well, then, did you go out with anyone else?
No, one out on my own.
Wow.
Fuck, fair play.
That was.
Balls in.
Was there any
Balls the same,
reason that
That's
you wanted
the
to go out
best
your
way to do it, I
own?
think.
I
maybe.
would agree with that.
It's the best way to do it, and it makes you grow up very quickly.
I would say so.
Nobody to run to, you're on your own. No,
Def-
no
def-
mother and father to run to, like, you're.
Definitely, you're right there. Like, you see, you
grew
fairly
up.
mature when I did it the first time. Like, you you sort of, you know what I mean? You're so independent. Like, young boys out there, like, if you need them, they're there. But
Yeah.
if you don't need them, you will away.
But it's even like
And I'll
learning-
see you can back at night time.
But it's like even like there's no one to make your own bed for you. There's no one to
nothing.
clean up after you. So you either become a complete slob or you realise, Jesus, I would need to.
Learn how to look after yourself. in a
Did
way,
you ever
like.
buy paper plates? You ever buy paper plates out
Oh,
there?
we done it in uni. It was
Well, it'd be a good job.
When we were doing stupid hours, like if we had time, obviously. Pardon me. But you see, like when we were flat out at the maze, that was the second time I was out. Like we were working 6 in the morning to 12 at night. There was 2 peak weeks of maze, like, and we bought paper plates. But we were thinking of the polar bears, we bought biodegradable paper plates.
Throw it clean out one.
Well, out of curiosity, whenever you're out there and you're flat out, is it sort of like here where you could be eating rough for a day or two, or would they feed you and all that crap?
No,
out
we
there?
got. If you're working past 6 o'clock in the evening, you'll get fed.
You get fed.
I have
No matter
multiple
what day of the
different.
week it is, which is very good of the people that we were working for. Like, they were great people. Like,
You don't agree?
No, I have multiple different experiences way fitting because I work in 3 different places.
So, well, Taylor, what way did you go out, or how did it end
I
up
was a
that
wee
you
bit more rash with the whole thing. I just did on no guessing. So, obviously, time at a partner time, and obviously that ended. And that ended on the Monday morning at 12 o'clock. And I had job and everything lined up by Monday. The phone the boy on Tuesday, it's everything booked on Wednesday.
And when did you go then?
So it was August that I took a notion to go. And I always wanted to go from I was 12 years of age. Watching the videos on YouTube, and there are a couple of boys locally had went out, the older chaps, and said about how good it was and you should be away. And I didn't go, till I was, 21? I think I was 21 at the time that I went.
I think that's a good enough age. I think if you go out any earlier than that, you're too young.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even say that. You
Really?
know. No.
You think 18 or 19 out there's grand enough?
It depends what you're coming from. Really.
Okay.
Are you
And what
maturity
stage of
maybe
life
a
you
wee
feel,
bit?
like if you're mature for your age,
You could be.
you'll be dead on
There's
out there.
boys could be 25, 26 and still too young to go out.
Aye, that's a good way of wording it.
Adam,
Yes.
you like cleaning cars?
I do, yes. Anything but yours.
Yeah, that's fair. But if you were cleaning,
Yep.
what would you use?
Well, got a JTEC kit.
Oh, lad. How would you do it? How would you go about doing it?
Well, start off with a bit of citrus pre-wash. Pristine 360 if it really needs it.
Agri spec, yes, proper. Yeah.
Chuck on a bit of snow foam, get it rinsed off, get the shampoo going, and then top it off with some ultra wax.
Deadly. Does he do anything else?
Tons of stuff, lad. Get yourself on the JTEC chemicals.
Plenty of good stuff there, like.
It's just JTEC, kid. Get in your head.
I really wanted to go, and I always wanted to go, and it was 2023, which was a really wet year here, if you don't mind. 2023 was a really, really wet year.
Well, 2023 was the year we had at least the dry silage years.
Possibly. I
We
can't
started,
remember.
but we started quite late. It was like the 27th or something with the silage, or the 23rd.
There was a real dry spell followed
2023
by
was whenever you
months
used
of
the wee
rain.
Fraser and you were not well that day.
No, it was 2022, 2023.
was the year of the
Big Chiller.
Big Chiller.
Oh, that no.
Yes.
The
2024 was the first year I got the freezer.
the 2023 you had college chiller.
18 foot, yeah.
And
I'll take your word for it.
This
Yes.
is how we work our years.
2023, a really wet year, and I was working at a dairy farm at the time, and I was walking through a field to feed calves one morning and had passion, and me and to nearly the top of the wellies, and the boy I was working to, and he'll be listening to this, and he knows exactly who he is.
And we know exactly who he is too.
Him lying,
just slightly.
him lying pushing
He may have actually been on this podcast before.
Him lying sleeping.
No, him lying. Carpet farming.
No, him lying sleeping.
He could have been carpet farming. For
We
all you
should
know.
have to you there. What do you call it? Him lying sleeping one morning and me up tramping through his wet field feeding his calves, and I says there has to be more to life than this. And there was a boy
lying in your bed.
boy I knew that time was out in New Zealand, and I said to him, and he gave me your man's details and I was working to, and I was chatting to him on the phone, but it was too early for him to be looking for the next
Can I
winter.
add a wee thing? You know your wee story there going through the field. I could add to that, for I feel like that at times to be
I
on.
feel like that every day.
I would not blame you one bit. Like, I would not blame you for that one bit. Like, feeling that.
Well, it's more for getting a certain batch of animals in the field and see the way it's been really wet recently.
Yeah.
I've had 3 hoodies on quite recently, if you know what I
3
mean.
hoodies.
Well, sure, it's warm, but.
That's warm.
I mean,
it's just
one
wet.
out, it's soaked, had to put another on. It's got soaked, had to put another on.
Sure,
Sorry.
Bought
Yeah.
like 24 hoodies, so I felt it for like a $5 or so.
Yeah, I'm nearly through them. Do you realise that's 5 years ago nearly?
Oh.
Or 4 years ago?
Best fiver ever spent.
Fucking not joking. Inflation
I
is
make it
killing
on. I make it on. That's all vanted.
Inflation's tar us what as well.
I know. A ton of Red Bull now is nearly £2.
I thought it was well.
A fucking
over
hoodie I've
£2.
found is nearly a tenner
That's soon
now.
going to get the States a bit cheaper to sleep.
Well,
But where's
Yes,
that?
you were walking through feeding
And
cows.
so I was chatting to this boy anyway, and he started chatting, nice fella, I was chatting to him on WhatsApp and nothing ever become it because it was too early in the year and never thought anything of it anyway, and went the rest of that summer working away, was happy enough. It was a horrible year for baling, and it was a horrible year for combine, and it was just a horrible year for everything.
I assume then at home you do bale and all that. Carry on, sorry.
Hold on.
Oh. Yeah, finally come out useful.
Oh, you 2 of them.
Maybe 3 there. Yep, there we go. That's a wee bit shout out to T Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, the T, I don't think stands for Taylor. I think it actually stands for Tommy, but maybe does it stand for Taylor?
No, not yet. There's no
Do you have any
there's no
sons that you're
yet.
unsure about?
No, I wouldn't take it. Wouldn't take it.
Too smart for that.
No. They're wannabes enough at this current moment in time. But no, well, we do at home, contacting around baling, combining, ploughing, sowing, all that. Then sell pottinger as well, as everybody's probably aware of now at this stage.
Yep.
So sell the pottinger sort of fills in the gaps, and then the balings
After your
for a bit of
recent
torture.
customer experiences of selling pottingers, would you still contemplate selling pottingers?
Oh no, pottingers are good stuff. Just when they are 20-year old, they do tend to be a wee bit brittle.
Operator air, maybe. Badly raked fields.
Operator air and stones.
Badly rolled and badly raked. Nothing to do with me.
Badly rolled, not badly raked.
You'll see what we're on about in a few weeks' time.
More like not badly, probably just more like lack thereof.
Never.
Nah, I always bad run. Like, they are a good harvester, but now 20. I don't know what age she is.
I thought
never
she
looked
was
a bit.
maybe in the 90s.
She probably is one. She probably is, but you're lucky she's a white reel now on her.
Aye.
Emma's a slightly better one, but she
And-
is very old.
There is still a video of me going down a road and somehow I am still like
Because to be fair, I watched it. So, do you know the way I'd be like self-propelled going down half the road and the other half just going out by her? And you see, the tiller man would be all say the tractor, so I wouldn't have a clue. Whereas anybody standing watching be like, is he alright? Does he know how to drive?
That's alright. Like Michael has never drove a baler or drove anything that involves putting grass into a reel.
No.
So we're going to give him the excuse. But now I did watch him laughing that first day now, and I did want to cry a wee bit.
I know. Yeah.
But it gave me great satisfaction when Fatty laughed this word that he couldn't laugh. That
You
make
just
me
swore
feel
he was
good.
driving with a controller and Farm Simulator, missing half the time.
No, I'd say it's more the keyboard, the controller, even more controller. It's like a keyboard jerky movements.
More the fact that the spout was loose at the top of it and she was pointing down. So when you come on the corner and you tried to blow, she just was bouncing off each other. And it was like, cool.
It's alright. We'll get her perfected. There's a couple of minor adjustments.
Aye, well, your brother, in fairness, helped out with that.
Yes, but sorry, digressing again. Going ahead,
That's
you
in a few
were
weeks' time.
so you
Well,
contacted
full-
it was too early.
So I just went on about my business anyway, and then August come and personal conditions changed. So that Monday I went on to a group, Ag Jobs NZ. I found it on Facebook, and I just put on a wee post of who it was and what kind of stuff I'd done before, and was sitting.
Did you have to get a reference off you?
Eh?
Did you have to get a reference off you?
No, what up, Barry? He's dad. But what do you call it? So that was one of my references, and a boy Martin Kennedy worked. He was the other reference. And but anyway, it was sat in his kitchen then that tea time, and I used to use laptop and typed it all in, my CV and all in case somebody asked for it. And a couple of boys texted me that day, and I went through them all and looked at all the offers. And there's this boy, he put on a good offer. And I had said I was interested, and he says, "Can I give you a call?" And he gave me a call on I can't remember WhatsApp. No, it was Messenger at that time. And anyway, he told me it was him, a small crew. He'd only had 3 tractors, and it was him and the wife. And told me about their and all. And then he told me the new year S coming. And I was like, "God, I'll see you in October."
No bother.
I sort of it was the best offer because August is quite late to look.
As
But
you say,
what
you
do
were
you call
on the
it?
ball.
With all the offers I
March.
got, it was the best offer, regardless of the fact they had an 8S, but that was just the icing on top of the cake. But-
I assume you enjoyed driving the 8S if you were.
Oh,
to go
that
and drive
I
the
was like a dog with 2 dicks. Like I was just sitting smiling all day. Me lying about, oh, I spit on a pair of shorts on me. And I see it as. Oh, I never
best.
hardly wore a t-shirt the whole time I was out.
Best things ever.
But that was my first time out. I done that, got that job, and then I was in Central Otago, and they had the complete opposite of home. They had a desert year. So come to Christmas, I'd bailed everything that was for growing that was on our customer base. And it comes to me the 1st of January, and it's like, because I was saying I'd love to have a square biller now. Like a square biller at home, but never get around on it because such a grandest baby. He just does that. And he says, "You saying you want to drive a square biller now?" And I'm like, "Aye." And he's like, "Well, my best mate, they went to boarding school out there, is Andrew Swan. He's an our contactor. He was a wee bit further north. He was up in Fairley, he called it. It's like
Is this
just
still
on the
South Island or
this is the South
still
Island.
the
The first
South
year
End?
I was
Okay.
out, that's sort of on the Canterbury border,
Okay.
but it's like that.
Ah.
It's all steep, really steep. And he says, "Do you want to go up there?" And he says, "Sure, give Andrew a call." He gave me his number, and I tapped him, and the offer now was good enough. And I says, "That's dead on." And I went up there, and he had 8S. It's great. But he had a big fleet of masses. Like, I'm a massy man, and anybody knows that. Like the first boy,
It wasn't obvious.
he
at
had
all.
he had a fent and 2 masses. He done round baling. That was how I really done round baling. A lot of seed drilling, and the combine. He grew a lot of barley and stuff. But I was mainly driving the baler. I had done tube wrapping, and I tried my dirty best to avoid it, and I managed to avoid it the whole season. And drawing bales, I really hate that too, but I still had to do that. But driving the baler was my sort of main job, and mowing I done already, but I had to top of mowers as well for him. And then so done that, and ended up to Swanee then, and I got driving a square baler up there. That was my main job, and then done round bale, and then the wee bits of combine. Didn't really do any combine, but they were between jobs and stuff and fitted about, But square bale was my main job, and I loved that. See when that's going well, that's the most enjoyable job out of them all.
Because you don't have to stop.
There's just something about it. You're just down there, just dong dong. It's
It's
just
not wild hard in a tractor, square bill. It's like kind of like a flywheel on like a self or on a trail behind. You have to keep her lit, and if you come off the throttle, good night. Or is that like anything?
No, you just keep her for the 1,000. Square billers are different. Square billers are very, very temperamental. They can be. Like, you can go to a square biller and you can bail 2,000 bales and you'll never be off a shit, and you can go out and try and bail 20 bales someday and you'll be off every bale. They can be real temperamental.
In what way? But just bursting or not knotting or what?
Not knotting, losing strings, howling onto the knots, onto the knotters. And
a lot of
you see, if you ever block one, they take some redding.
I would, because it's chopped so fine, or
No, it's hard to explain. It's hard, like, it depends on the screw. Some of them have rudders on them, and some of them is forks that fitted on. Sort of goes 2 and 2.
yeah.
And whenever they block, like, you've a great bit of blocking, or if you're in wet stuff, they would block and stuff, or break a shear bolt from trying to get her started again. But
Why are they? What is the thing in them that makes them so, like, you have to have like 250 horse on them?
there's some driving one. And you see, whenever she's, it's hard to explain.
They pull down, but basically, don't they? Is that not what
They
it
take
is? It's
her. You see, when they put the plunger back, so your stroke is on the front, and she puts it back, and then whenever she has a certain amount on there, she swipes it up. You know,
Okay.
your leaf of your square bale, she swipes it up, and then the plunger pushes it back.
Aye.
Whenever there's so much, you push it back to compress it.
So it's that compression force
Aye,
is probably
whenever
what's
hit
taking the
goes
power.
back, that's when you need your power. You see, when she's sitting just running, takes nothing, but you see when that there goes back, that's where you get your, your rock.
It's probably it's nearly quite resistant. It's probably quite
Nah.
resistant now because it's quite hard. Straw is obviously quite hard, so yeah.
It ends up quite dense. But I loved that. That was the best thing I ever done. But you shot a bit steep ground. That's second place.
Well, aye, so that's one of the big things boys talk about, and like anybody who's ever been in New Zealand ever, you talk about a hill and they go, huh, you only think that's a hill. I done this in New Zealand, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I went on to 3 fields one day, and there was just one square on the very top field is where I had to set all the bales. When I was building the field below it, I had to drive on that field to let the bale off, and then whenever I went to field below that, I had to drive through that field onto that field before I let it off. That was a very emotional day. 150 bales took me all day with 2 billers. 'Cause the first biller done a bearing, and then the next biller somebody fucked with it, and she wouldn't put on net. So I had to fuck with it to get it to put on net.
So were you running like dual wheels or anything on? You
No.
see boys doing that, running duals, and like even on a like say a Stratton wagon or whatever you call them, like they run the really wide tires. Like you don't have any of that, no?
Not really where we were at. The only time you're running duels is whenever you're doing groundworks, like cultivations on wet ground or on the peat.
Aye,
As
but
we-
for normal grass or anything like that, you weren't.
Not
or
really. The
mowing or
duels
anything?
would be put on the tractors for the buck wrecking.
Ah well, you see that over
But
here
on
times too.
the
Like,
Fent, on his 724, she was on her back axle. They were pushed out. The wheels were pushed out.
yeah.
And that was a salvage job for pushing up knees.
Well then,
Felt very nice.
Charlie, whenever you went out, what all did you end up getting up to with a contractor?
At the start, I was rigging, and then as well as that,
Did you
They're
rake
doing-
many stones into the
no, don't do that. That's because there was no stones. Where we were at,
well rolled ground?
You made up for lost time, man, when you were react house.
it was rigging at the start, and then as well as that, we were doing
Straight 2-rotor, 4-rotor.
2-rotor
Okay.
class. Can't remember what she is, but savage rig.
Like the 3600, was she?
No, she was
3600 would be a 4-rotor, but 20,
36 is a
Oh,
4-rotor.
sorry, a 2-rotor. Oh,
was,
she'd been 2900.
29, 2700 maybe then.
29's the biggest to have in New Zealand because they wouldn't bring in the 3100s.
Nicest record I've ever used in my life. They're great.
He's
Even better.
he's
than,
offended now.
I'm not the class. The
Even
class is a
better
good
than
rake.
Bottomers.
Like Bottomers a great rake. Bottom class is
no.
really good rake.
even better than Connor's, right?
It's Connor's rigs, like
That's Prunar. Oh no, that's a good rake.
That's a what?
Prunar.
I think it's Polish.
That's yeah.
That's I don't know. It's what do you call it? Wasn't this the most popular brand?
No, it's Polish.
It's sort of like
I think it's
instead of Rice Krispies, it's like Rice Snaps at a ladle.
It's a
no,
little,
it does a good job.
a
Like,
little rake.
no, she is pretty good. I'm very surprised at her. Like, and
Seems
but
to be a good wee rake in fairness. Like
no, that's good.
Connor
We-
listens, so I can't really offend him too much.
I work for him.
Yeah, you might know a job after this.
Milking every evening and every morning.
Fuck my bank balance.
I'm not that bad. I'm supposed to get paid.
You paid with experience,
Oh, that's great experience.
exposure.
Yeah, that's saying.
If I think you should be giving
Good
him
man.
money for the opportunity to do that.
Been there, done that, worn that t-shirt.
Good men aren't cheap and cheap men aren't good.
Well, I'm not good. I done the rake at the start, and at the cultivations, I was on a ripper, and that was lovely to use. Like, she was just a big shank, like that length there.
What was she, a bednar or something like that there?
Huh?
Was she a bednar or what was she? She yellow.
It was yellow, but there was a 4-ag sticker on it.
She might have been a bednar, or she might have been a 4-ag. 4-ag was the dealer for red bednar, but they
4-ag
were
brings
also.
it in or something. I'm not too sure.
Why do they rip? As it like? Because no one obviously really ripped. Do you see many ones ripping over here?
No.
No, it would not work.
Is it all mental out there basically? So as soon as they go in and rip it up, maybe power
I've seen every type of tone out there.
and then just
Kind
seed
of.
into it.
So is that just so you don't have to plough?
You don't have to play.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you never play really.
I suppose don't plough.
Oh,
They would.
that's very
There was a lot
dependent.
of playing.
They're trying to get away from ploughing. Well, probably what you mean, but soil erosion out there is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, mine's not alright.
Around us, there's like no stones where I was at. So
In New Zealand.
up in the North Island where we were at,
that-
there was stones, but there was no big
that
heavy
all, like-
stuff. Like
is
I
that-
never done a shear bolt with stone related. I done a shear bolt one day because I found
He's like-
really hard ground, and she done a shear bolt wherever.
That's one thing about the South Island, to be fair.
Oh,
These
South
are
Island's
suck
supposed
or
to
some
be
stones and hat.
That's what you've always been told. It's like you're
South
even
Island's
mowing
supposed
and
But wait, I
stuff.
tell you something. You're saying all New Zealand steep and all stony. You see New Zealand like there's a lot of areas is different.
Oh,
Like
suppose
you
it's
see, the first place I was first year out on the South Island wasn't that steep, but a couple of really steep places you went to, but most of it was all right. Second place, everywhere was on its end. Like I mind going one day with the builder, and there was just a bit of the fill. I had to take 3 swipes at it. I had to try and get my balls to grow to get up onto the very top. But without joking, I was lying, shiting myself. And then the next year, when I went out to the North Island, the next year, I was in flat most of the time. But when you went somewhere steep, you went somewhere steep.
To be fair, it's like Michael talking about. See, Limavady be rating flat, I suppose.
Well, Lamavati would be flat. That would be flat, aye, but there's steep ground on it as well.
But
But same
even
way everybody says Lamavati is a great barley country now. Like there's plenty of bad ground in Lamavati too.
There is, but you have more
But it'd
ground,
be
more
like-
good ground than you deserve.
saying around it'd be like
That's
around
very
like
hurtful. It hurts my feelings.
it'd be like Michael saying, "Oh, like Carshall Farm, basically, obviously nothing but flat."
It does, aye.
And then him saying,
That's
"Oh, sure,
reclaimed ground, all isn't it? But a lot
It
of
does,
that's
aye. See,
reclaimed.
wow.
aye," but it'd be him like saying, "Oh,
No
sure,
stones
that,
or nothing on it,
you know,
it's great.
there's-
That'd be good for a
it's
flat
like that
rake,
there."
man.
And then him being like, "Oh, well,
Lazy rollers.
Christian Dog ground, sure, that's like a different country, basically."
That's just for sheep.
What like?
What I mean is, New Zealand is not just a field, I suppose. It's,
Aye,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
full country, so you're going to get all three.
Like scenery changes very quickly where I was at.
Scenery's class,
But
but
it's unreal. Some places don't look real.
I've seen that
Like
as
it's
well.
weird.
Yeah.
But where I was working at, a good majority of the work was on flat ground.
Right,
But whenever
okay.
you went to steep stuff, it was steep.
But I suppose back to what you're saying about the scenery, because it's just coming into my head.
It's beautiful, like.
Up around your part of the country, obviously, you're quite close to Benavina, right?
Yes.
And see, when you're coming over to Limavady Mountain, you look out at Benavina, you see like the sea and all that there, or the foil. Like that's a stunning view in a class day.
that is. But there only is about 3 days a year the sun's out and actually looks class.
But that's, I think, whenever people say New Zealand would be a home from home, would you have something similar, or is it just like
That
what
depends where you are.
or is it just like what
Like
we
you
have
see
at
the
home?
North Island. The North Island's a lot greener, by a bit more like here. Where the South Island, like a year I was out was an exceptionally dry year.
Okay.
That was yellow. And it was
Right.
grey. It went from green to yellow to grey.
More like the south of England there, nearly kind of with the
Aye.
weather. Aye.
Like I mind going into a big. They call them. What do they call them again? Stations.
What's the station?
It's like an estate. They call it
Oh,
stations. A lot of the stations will be a lot of money. But I mind going to this station. They call it a big estate. And they grew a lot of barley. I mind going to Square Bale at it one day. And I was in the big field. I'd say there were 100 acres on it. A big field and a big class combine, or not class, or a big New Holland combine on the other side of the 10.90 or whatever she was. With an English number plate on her, actually. And I was Square Bale, and I have a Snapchat on my phone. I took it. I said, "This is just like being on the South England. That's just what it was like." And it was that dry that day. I had to stab bales. The bales were busting them onto the ground.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, I amount of days I had to stab bales was too dry. Also, mine being pea straw for gardens for a wee square biller in the back of 165. That was good. Used to go and bale 2 swards every morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, sit in the shorts and the singlet on you. On top of 165. I thought this was brilliant. Now it'll be 47 at a national biller on.
That would be class, actually.
But I had this. Hey, you got 2 swords now. And the stuff got too dry. You could lift the wheels with your pinky finger.
Fuck.
That's unreal. But, like, one thing, because Conor McFetridge's talked about this in a previous time, he says, like, right, I'm not good at getting out of my bed in the morning. Not really, I'm a bad riser. I have to do it because there's this thing called work, which pays me, which means I, like, don't, like, die. But other than that, if I didn't have to do that, I probably wouldn't get
Well, I
out of
don't
bed.
think it would die, but it'd probably be financially not
Crippled.
good.
Yeah. And
We also keep sheep like that on our farms. Like farming's a great way to be financially crippled.
this is true. This is also true.
The only thing worse than farming's contract.
That would definitely
We cry at yous.
yeah.
And
No,
yous
you
cry
cry
at us.
at us whenever we give you the ball.
Well, at least
And then we don't pay you for a year.
But farming,
So then you cry at us.
farming and everything's the same. But it's like what else? You know, it's just it's a passion at the end of the day.
100%. But what
If you didn't love it, like you definitely couldn't do it.
what I'm getting at is, like, you're saying about 8 o'clock in the morning, been out, shorts and all along. Like Conor McFetridge was saying, like, you get up 6:30 in the morning, he says, no bother, you're up and away. And people talk about that in Australia as well. Like, they say, you just, for some reason, you can just get up and go. Did you find that was a thing there?
But you see, even here, like you see, after you're going to grass or going to slurry or going to do something productive on the day, you can get out of bed. But you see a day where it's raining there and you're just going to do stand a bit the shade and do your odds and ends, like you still got to get up. Like I mind me mornings. Like there's one day the second place I was, we done a lot of maize, and all their maize, they drill ryegrass onto it straight after, and they cut it away at times and ploughed for maize again in their springtime. And I went sowing one day. There was this big field. There was maybe 40 acres on it. There were 2 fields actually. There were a wee sort of like 3 acre field. Then you crossed a wee bit of a burn onto the other one. And I went to the other one night, and the main road was beside it, and you couldn't see any of the houses around me, and you couldn't see the road for dust. Real dry spell. And I rung the boss, and I said, "Sir, this is not really working." He says, "I was about to ring you because I just drove past there." And I says, "Do you want me to come and do it in the morning?" And I says, "Before
There's a
the
bit of dew in
traffic
the
starts
ground,
and
or-
they're about a deal." He's like, "Would you do that?" And I'm like, "Aye." And he says, "Oh, that'd be great." So I get up that morning. I think I get up sort of 4:45. I was in the yard for 5, and I went and I had the whole thing sowed before the sun rose. And I have a picture of the tractor and the drill sitting on the sun rising up in the background, big red sky.
Class.
Cool.
But I suppose, is the weather, I know you said made a joke about it at the start, is the weather actually better over there?
Oh, aye. Oh,
Like
aye.
it is, like, because I know they still get rain and all too, like, but
It was a wet start on the season. That season.
What
I
year
was
did you
there
go?
this year? Well,
Oh, winter past.
yeah, one past, but it was a wet start for us. You were sitting maybe 3 weeks.
That was
Really?
so what
But
year
we
out there in
still
general
had
wasn't
work
it?
in the yard to do and stuff. Like you weren't.
So
which
you
was
weren't
good of
idle?
them. You weren't sitting
I
there
was going to
lying.
say, because I could think of nothing
Doing
worse
nothing.
than being out and not,
We
like,
kept busy when there was nothing, which was great.
but like, if you went out and you're not in the tractor, if you're in the yard, are you getting paid?
Yeah, if you're doing something, if you're
But if-
working, like if it's anything.
But if you were standing for 3 weeks just waiting, you wouldn't have been getting paid, like, it'd have
I
been-
know of boys that did go out and they had to sit in the house for 3 weeks and had no money. Like
See,
they-
that sounds awful.
Whenever you went out to begin with, you said you were wrecking.
yeah,
What then did you move on to then, Charlie?
went to the Ripper, and then after a wee while went on to the silage wagon, Stratman,
Oh, right.
and that was silage.
So obviously,
that.
I was going to say not a massive thing over here. You do see them on the road,
Aye.
but it wouldn't be a huge thing. You never, I take it, your probably closest thing to doing that was maybe a silage trailer prior to that. Had you ever been on a wagon?
Never run a wagon.
What is your first thoughts whenever you hook on a strapman, or as I called it earlier, straightman, and you hook on a wagon and you go, right, there's a rail here, Do you control the walking floor, or is that automatic, or
My head's just a really, really big baler. Like.
but have you bailed before you run it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ginger. Connor.
Were you ever in a silage wagon?
I've never driven a silage wagon. I've sold one, but never driven one.
No, she's very handy to use, that Stratman. She's most
Could
of the
I
time.
use one? Could I use? No.
You should be able to. They're pretty handy, like.
They're not too bad. Like, you can put them onto automatic.
Aye,
And then if
that's-
you want to get really smart then on time, big loads on them, you put them onto manual.
Yeah,
Aye.
and stuff them
Yeah.
like full. But no, if you run her, she's usually. It depends on what type of grass it is, but usually you'd have it running at like 90-95%, and she just should clean up.
Okay.
But if you want to, you can put it in the manual and let it go up, and walk the floor back.
So is
Really
that the
walk.
whole idea of manual? Is you walk the floor back yourself?
Aye, just a wee tiny bit. But what I was told to do, just to get a good bit more onto it, whenever the buzzer goes off, you push the floor back until it can't go back anymore. That hits the back door solid, and then you load her up, and then you can make the front a good bit more onto her. Like. But they are very easy used, and they're fun to drive. Like. But I love the wagon. That was one of my favourite things to drive. Like.
A wagon, just for me, I think never really appealed in the same way that you don't. I don't think you have that same crack. Well, wagon silage outfit compared to like even your drawing bales. Like there's always a bit of.
Oh, sure,
commotion
you
with-
2 or 3 wagons and it goes the same.
So the two of us and the boy in the stack, it was always good crack. Like. Always good banter.
Now that you've driven wagons, you've obviously done a winning jobs with it. And would you say now the likes of the men with self-propels, the chillers now, is that a bit of a lost cause in your eyes?
On farm stuff, yes. In New Zealand, might be different out here, but on farm stuff, it is so much quicker than 4 trailers.
What?
Or 3 or 4 trailers.
two
on a farm, like.
wagons. So 2 wagons would equally do as much as 4
Yeah,
trailers.
if it's on farm stuff and it's not a far away draw, you will do quicker than a group of.
I'd imagine here would be the ideal outfit for a wagon. in fairness.
Wagons have their place. I see if you have your silage pots on your yard. Like, let's say you were to start cutting silage. Let's say money was no object. A wagon's what you need.
Yeah.
Your fields is all around the pot. One
Aye.
man, one tractor. Like, you
I've-
see them modern wagons, you can lift 80 acres a day with one of them wagons a good day.
You wouldn't
And
have a Fiat on the front of it, like
Oh no. Well, you can
We
get
want
one,
to
you can
do
get one
90.
for the fit. You get a wee Faro or something, a wee tiny one. Wee toy wagon.
a wee dinky yuck.
But you know what I mean? Like that, you take even them bigger wagons, you can lift up to 100 acres, them really big ones. Like,
Nah, but is that like quadrum axles? Like,
no, that 8400 that we sold there, she's the biggest double axle one you get. And she has the extra knives on her. She'll chop it as fine as a harvester for the ordinary chop land for farmer. And I was, you could put on now it'll be a long day, but you could put on 100 acres in the right conditions where no bother.
They are quicker on farm stuff. In New Zealand, they are quicker because it is the later crop. Like, you're
whenever
not
you say
pulling
on farm,
big heavy crop.
do you mean like basically the farm is in the middle of a big station, as you guys call it, or
We wouldn't really have stations around us. We just have dairy farms.
I was in the North Island very like that. So the North Island and South
Their
Island are two
stations-
completely different places.
See, in regards then to that, like on a long draw, if you had money, would you say if you had your 4 trailers and your self-propelled, would you need 3 wagons to be doing the same output on a 2-mile draw or something, or would you still say the 2 wagons would be equally doing as much as your 4 tillers?
It's hard to tell. It just depends on your crops too. Like.
Fair enough.
It's hard to tell, but usually what happened whenever we were doing the heavy crops, which they usually would kill off the set grass for putting it in the maize. Whenever we're doing long carts and stuff, they would have been like 4 or 5 silage tillers, and then I'd be in a wagon, and another boy would be in a wagon, and we would do the on-farm stuff. And then whenever we were going to the runoffs, as they call them, which were basically the out farms, they would usually be farther away. We would go and give them ones a hand to draw that back.
so you would just get filled into on the wagon,
Or either fill ourselves and then
get topped up.
top her up and then close your cover. That's one thing where we were at, covers were just,
Tara.
like unreal. I forget the name of their boys out there, but they're basically like the New Zealand Voja, basically,
And they are.
and they are a bloody nightmare.
Oh,
Really?
like you have to cover every load.
You have to,
Yeah,
but
call
we
them a
have-
share of bastards if you want. Like,
Roll over cover. That just rolls from the front to the back.
Dear God. But we most of the trailers have a rollover cover, and they just, that just shoots
would,
over.
would a silage trailer be rollover as well?
Yeah,
Aye.
but that's,
Really?
Yeah,
That-
every load of grass. If you're going on the road,
every
You're
load of
meant to
grass
cover
and
it.
maize, you have to cover it, and even a bit in your drawbar, you get pulled for that. Like silly stupid shit. Like,
Well, if you didn't fill too big a load and it was below the side, still have to cover it.
no, But
No,
just in
okay.
case, just do it. But I always done it with that Stropman because her cover's on a hydraulic valve and she just flips over
You
like
see
that.
NC have a trailer out there. I've seen it on, and they literally it has the rollover
That's the
cover.
exact same covers. Your man I worked the second time I was out, he had 2 herons, 16 tons. That's what was on them. And there's 2 Donnellys now. From my left, he put 2 Donnellys.
With covers.
And I'm nearly, well, they're bound to have covers on them.
Everything's covers now. Like out there, it's mental the way it's different, but it is covers. Like
No, is it just because for like just to stop?
Stuff blowing off.
stop blowing off and then get pulled in and get fined.
That's mental. Like, how are you supposed to go out there? You're 6 ton Fraser and you're Massey 135.
You don't.
You really don't.
That's one thing I noticed, but in general, the tractors, farmers' tractors out there are far newer than here. Like, you would hardly ever
'cause
see somebody with
They make money.
an
out there.
L7 635 New Hollanders on the loader. Like, it's all. You can still buy a new 6050 New Holland out there.
Right,
It's all
okay.
6050 New Holland and a 7615 Massey would be the 2 most popular tractors in the both places. There are 3 places I was.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that because of the emissions then?
I was going to say.
There's no AdBlue out there either.
Deadly.
The bigger
Steve-
tractors have AdBlue because that's just the way they come. But you see, you can buy 7S's out there, Masses coming no AdBlue. The MT 6050 New Hollands is no AdBlue, nothing like that.
And that's why allegedly they're made that way, so it's handy. You could remove it.
The
Laptop and take a cat out there and that's out there anyway.
Or even there's literally there's allegedly a tap to the AdBlue tank as well.
I don't know. No, well, I think now a friend of a friend told me one time that you map the AdBlue out with a specialist program on your laptop, and you would take the cat out, and then supposedly that means your tractor doesn't have AdBlue anymore, and you won't have to put any on. Supposedly,
Supposedly. So they say.
so they say.
So they say. So they tell me.
See in New Zealand then, obviously you know the way here, the likes of a lot of the farms is, yes, most people will have a bit of ground around the yard, and then you have your 10 acres here, your 10 acres there. So all that
You're
sort of
worse
connected.
for that than anybody else. But
That wouldn't actually be too bad for that out there.
No.
It's sort of
Whereas
a
it's
block.
all
it blocks
all
blocks.
blocks, so it's like Scotland type of thing. Everybody's a block of ground, really.
It's their main farm and then a out farm
runoff block.
runoff. That's what they call
because you don't have a single close field. Look, your closest draw is down the hill, and it's over the worst. Your closest draw is probably still the longest, at least in the field anyway, because you're literally like, ow.
Even if you had to go from one end of the
Fall
field to the
off,
other
see?
in a field, it's a
Oh,
long
the
drive.
To be
Gala-
honest,
like-
if he dives down in the field, it's still a bad draw.
But the Gala Road is a bad road. Like,
Are
Well,
you
if
one
you
of them
got- if you
people
got
that
your
is all
seat fixed-
fields on really bad country roads and you have to draw all the silage up it?
If he put an air seat into the Fiat, no word of life.
That's still a fate.
dump $4,000 into the gearbox. I've no money left for.
Don't drive
I
with the
wouldn't
cork.
matter what seat you put in the field, it's still a solid tractor. Like tractors of that
Especially
age
like
weren't
hockey-
built
it's
for
like
comfort.
hockey pucks, basically,
Ironically,
with the
right?
cabs.
See, because the passenger seat in his tractor doesn't move,
Yeah, it's better.
it's actually more
It's
comfortable.
well hard to drive when you're sitting in the passenger seat, but
That's true. No, but if he
You're
put
better
either,
just getting
if
out
he
the
put a
tractor
fixed
and let
seat
it
into
drive
it,
itself.
because it's a
Autonomous.
sprung seat, as soon as you get into it, you just straight to the ground.
I went down to 7840 like that. That was quite emotional.
Is it
Hard.
the 7840 that we all know?
Yes.
Aye.
I heard a bit moan her when FC 300 more on her and had about 30 degrees, no aircon on her, and you sat on the floor.
I remember 31 degrees drawing silage in my face.
But the sunroof could let the steam out.
Oh, the sunroof was open, like.
we
Sunroof's always open.
we actually had to have the sunroof closed because it was the grass was so dry, it was just blowing in all around us. So we were trying going along with the doors open, trying to like it was 31 degrees of me, James Heaney, Wally Brown, and Art Swirl out, and it was like there's the pictures of me coming through the choir. Here's the picture of me drawing silage to the choir. That's where Adam took them photos, and it was so dry, and I was literally sitting. I think honestly, my feet turned into a sauna that day. They're hot enough tractors sit on the best times.
To be fair, it's worse when you're in a milking parlour.
Wouldn't know, and I don't intend to find out.
Like,
You know? Do you know? Have you never milked?
No.
I thought you worked for dairy. You've worked for. Well, I suppose you use robots, like.
I use robots. Another dairy farm, I just fed the cows. I didn't milk them.
Okay,
I'm going to feed them tomorrow morning, actually.
fair.
Haven't fed them in like 4 weeks, but I'm going back tomorrow because it's wet.
well, he's fed them obviously. The
Oh,
feeds.
aye.
You hope so. Stan, where's Taylor gone?
Well, you see, the agreement was it's a customer I would do a lot of bailing for, and we're chatting, and obviously I went to New Zealand them 2 winters in a row, and I didn't go last winter. And they're chatting. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do this winter. And he says, oh, my cows need feeding. That's all right. So then I started feeding them in like October. Fed them every morning. And then I originally thought when Slurry kicked off in February I was going to stop, but I didn't really stop. I only really stopped there when a week ago whenever silage and stuff kicked off. And now there's sweat again. And obviously with my pain and my abscess and my tooth last week, I didn't do a wild lot.
No.
So this week I'm going to try and do more.
You see for the likes of folk that want to go out there, obviously if you had to drive to contractors at home, everybody's heard the bad stories of paying that, but yes, you could say that whenever you're out there you're doing big hours, so you have nothing else to do, so you could save money. But say if you still have a wee bit of a life out there, whilst you're out there, which clearly Taylor has had, it's still worth your while. Basically, you're still making enough money.
Or is a pint like $15?
No, well, you see, everybody said about drink being dear and everything being dear. It's not that dear. It's not any dearer than here, and you're making more money. Like, you see, the first year I went out, like, I was fortunate I had two very different experiences, both good. But, like,
a
the first year
different
I
kind of
was out, we were working at a smaller outfit and a dry climate, so obviously yields wasn't great and all the rest, and there wasn't a wild lot of hours. I didn't make a wild lot of money, but I had a great time. I still come home with a profit. I never took a penny from here out there. And I never, you know what I mean, and I still took a wee bit of money home. And the last year I was out, I couldn't spend the money I was making.
Because you were working so much.
I just work in good steady hours. And we still get, like, we get 2 weeks off at New Year's. And we get a weekend off here and there, or a day or two. Pardon me. A day or two off here and there, but I was making good money. Like, the last year I was out, the first year I was out, I was paid well enough, paid fortnightly, religiously at Broadway. This time I was out, paid fortnightly religiously, but I had free accommodation, a free Jeep, free diesel.
It's more important than life itself.
And then I was getting paid the same as I was getting paid. Like, the first year I was out, I didn't have to buy a car right enough, but I still had to put diesel on it. And I had to pay a wee bit of rent. They weren't sure on me. Like, he covered a bit of the rent, and we covered a wee bit as well. You know, he helped us out. And I had to buy groceries. Like, I had to buy groceries this time I was out. But, like, I got free Jeep, free diesel, and free accommodation. That helped a lot. Free internet, free SIM card,
so to speak.
free SIM card and phone.
Heating and all, like, I suppose heating and all was covered.
Oh, I
had
had to cover too. Like, you never used it, but it was there if you needed it as
I
such.
suppose
Like, I covered the
shares.
electric. I had a fan going every night. That was warm. Like,
Were you the same?
Some nights you needed a fan, like you could not sleep.
No, I just meant like the Jeep and all, and the diesel and all. Or the
Yeah, free accommodation and free care. That was fantastic.
fucking
And then
mental.
the dinners every evening, like it helps so much. You're not having to come home late at night and make yourself something. And
So you didn't have that, then you had
the
to,
first year I was out, the two boys fed me. The second year I was out, you fended for yourself, to be fair. But you didn't mind. So you didn't.
It was all a positive experience then, really.
Oh, I know people went out and had a bad experience, but as a whole, like, if I could get 10 people now just standing on here at his went, and there's only one person I know who could give you a bad story about how they went out.
look, without running anybody down, things can happen. Say you get robbed or something like that. That's a pretty shitty experience. But I feel like someone who would go out and say didn't enjoy it would go out and they'd claim they could drive X and Y and Z.
No, but you see, that's the same as any country. Like, Ireland, Northern Ireland, whatever you want to word it, that's densely populated with arseholes. you know what I mean?
I
Like,
should be putting a T-shirt.
you know, it's very densely populated.
Quarter
with arseholes.
2026,
Like, there's a
Taylor
lot-
Jackson. This country is populated by arseholes.
Densely populated.
Densely.
with
You
assholes.
can put that in the new limited slip differences merch. But what do you call it? You know, like, there is a lot of bad employers here. People have no patience. People are bad at paying and all. Like, there's a lot of good people here too. Like, anybody I work for over here is great. But, you know, we're out there. Most folks are a lot more decent. So everything's camera and everything else. But
Yeah.
there is still arseholes out there too. Like, Rambo out there, and he worked with two boys that are arseholes, and they're known to be arseholes. But he didn't know what he was going to.
Well, like, see, in the experience that you've had, is it, like, the employers sort of, there was a tomorrow to a certain extent, if you know what I mean. You know the way, like, realistically here, farmers here, quite a lot of them, I would say, like, there's no such thing as tomorrow. Has to be on the day.
Oh,
Have to, it's
I mean, I'd be a wee bit
it's
like that.
30,
they are more chilled
10.
out. They definitely are. But if there's rain coming,
then no.
But then that's the
no.
thing. But
But
then that's
mostly
like,
all chilled out.
but like you even look at even like whenever we were at your grass there a couple of years ago and the rain was coming in, like
That was
anytime-
because I made it probably a bad call.
That's your job. You hate cut now, and you look at the weather now.
But like this was literally, and it was like you were coming to the yard. No, we didn't stop to eat or anything. Like we literally had the burgers fucking chucked at us as we were coming in. For like it was like, what do you want your burgers? You come on the tip, and the way it was like, here you go. You try and catch it if you didn't catch it.
Up here. I think it was.
Yes, so essentially.
I think that was the night.
Yes,
or
for
Calling
you
it here.
whatever way. So
There was a gate strong or something.
Yeah.
the old fella goes to me, look, is it to be dried over? And I said, look, according to the internet here, yes, this to be dried in the water, blah blah blah. Originally, the whole plan was we would start at a certain time. I think it was dinner time, so all the men were sent to work, and then fucking as usual, the first thing in the morning, comes in, right, I want to be starting to lift it sooner rather than later type thing. So like the skeleton crew was got together. I think like Declan Boyle was driving, Ronan Devlin was driving.
Me.
Like you'd come down obviously with the new Fraser, you Fraser, and
Definitely not you.
but like I took down the first load. Was you sort of enjoying myself, and like they found, why you not driving our own tractor and that other trailer? Like,
And I was sitting in my Rory.
so I had sent the uncle to lift the other trailer, and I was like, oh sure, you can go and get a load on it for all I can. And he was like, that fella was just like, no, way on you go. So I had to ring you and be like, look, lad, I don't think your fucking back door's open. And eventually it did. And we originally we couldn't sort it, but there was like 2 drawn. I was like, oh, we no pit man for a fucking hour. And then so there's 4 loads of grass tipped, and they look a bit of a pit whenever there's 4 loads of grass not tightly tipped together. So it got to be that my father was literally reversing us in to be as tight as possible. And then Jim arrived with a JCB, and it was like, I have never been as glad to see you in my days. But
Like, what I'm getting at is that particular day, because the rain was coming, it was so stressful because weather is not guaranteed.
there was miserable
If you
8 o'clock, and I was shitting myself
have-
for the shade I'd have to listen to when I get home.
If you have 6 weeks of good weather, everybody's kind of like, I don't really care if you don't cut today or tomorrow, but as long as it's in this week, it's to be dry all week, it'll be grand.
Oh, it's just whenever you get around it.
If we had that here, I don't think anybody would be running about like a.
Oh no, here, dry day. Aye, can you cut my grass? Aye, what time you want to cut? Aye, 11 o'clock. Oh, well, hey, that's possible. It's 5 past 11 already.
Aye, that's what I'm getting at. Hurry up.
Aye.
Come on.
Like, but, and people, and the thing is, even, that's kind of one of the reasons why I like buying my own stuff, is because you kind of want to be self-sufficient. So if it is a nice day, you can just go, right, fucking, I'm going to mow down, and like Darren will do the work anyway, and then I can blow it out myself. Like, whereas if you're dependent on a contractor, he's going to go to the man that's got 140 acres rather than coming to me to do 10.
Well, is there anything like when you're right there, like new opportunities, you got these other things, you fucking won't be doing again?
Drinking as much.
I don't know who will be listening to this, so I'm not answering that
Allegedly.
question.
I was alive.
You want drinking as much beer? Like, beer's a big thing out there.
every evening.
Under the yard, about a new
It's
box
like
of
a
beer.
culture
Something.
type of thing.
That's a culture type of thing,
No
aye.
matter what time you were home at night, you would have a beer. There was a beer
Same
fridge
as
there.
England.
If a farmer takes a real good liking to you, like if you're going home with a box of beer, you
Like, you don't get blocked every night, but you have a
No,
beer
no, no,
every
you
night.
have a beer every
want
night, you don't
to,
get
like,
blocked.
You don't get airlock.
well, that could happen.
No.
Like.
And you get a lift home then, obviously.
Obviously, aye.
Yes.
Or
One
like-
night we dunk a pile of beer in the yard and the boss left us home, like.
Like, it appeals to parts obviously in New Zealand, but I've done it somewhere in England, and literally it was, fuck, you worked all day, you went straight to Tesco and you
But
lifted it.
there is
Man,
definitely.
it's dry, like. But a drift come on there, you need a wee
But,
beer.
but that's the thing. Like, if you're with,
But you imagine, if the whole lot of us was shipped.
Could you imagine my dad coming up with a carton of beer to all of us?
I remember even, this is a wee years ago, we were up with the farmers up the road, and there was 2 sort of outfits worked together, and I remember all the boys were covering the pit, and the farmer came out and was handing beers to everybody. That was your payment, I suppose.
I'd rather be.
You see, if a man drew enough of beer to me, I'd cover his pit, no bother.
But like, what I'm saying is, if
You
we,
need a lot of beer corner for me to come to Tomb and cover his pit. But if
we-
you're giving me enough of beer and a sofa to lie on that night, I'll come and help you cover
but
your pit.
imagine if we all ended up like just.
I'll
for
hold you
example,
to it.
Well, if I'm not busy.
What I'm saying is, if the 4 of us ended up in Galway, for example, having to go and work for a contractor and we were sharing accommodation, you'd be doing the same.
Ironically, one of the lads that worked to the building contractor at that time beside us, We were told, oh look, there's a field. He's stuck. Somebody's locked the fucking gates, whatever, in the state I was working on.
Sorry, New Zealand. Apparently, they just drive through the gates anyway.
No, we don't
but
drive through the gates.
The
don't.
we unlocked the gates anyway, and oh jeez, this man was from Galway, and the fridge in the John Deere was full of
Beer.
yes.
What a legend.
Sorry,
And
not
he
New
just went-
Zealand. Honestly.
Well, I need S cool box holds 3 beers. You can put more on if you try, but it holds 3 beer comfortably.
And then obviously you parked the
So
jeep
a
at the side
friend
of the
let me know.
field.
Yeah.
Parked the jeep at the side of the field, and you slept in the jeep whenever you finished it.
Eh?
ELS never left the field, obviously.
Oh no.
But they
I didn't like all 3 of them at once.
they
You might
they don't
spell it.
actually. Technically, you don't need insurance in New Zealand.
No.
What?
No.
That's
Aye,
weird.
New Zealand is.
That's
It's
Oh, because it's Rego or something like that. It's the.
I think you just insure the vehicle or
That's
something.
You,
what it
you don't
is.
even have to insure the vehicle. You just
don't.
what do you call it? That's not a requirement there. Like you see, if we were in New Zealand, I'd go out and jump on anything out in your state, that would start
What happens if you
and go
crash
wherever
it?
I want.
Well, you're just not insured.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
Out there, there's not as out there like. See, that's the big difference. See, you see the South Island. Like you see, if you go to the shop in your car, like you lay the keys on her. There's Honda quad bikes everywhere, just lying beside the road. The keys not on them, like nobody touch them. Or here, if you stepped off your Honda quad bike and your shade of the door shut, there was somebody coming on the other end, and you had to step under after you get off it. Like,
Because they'd put a hole through the wall of the shed to come into it, obviously.
So there's no real like.
but North Island's different. North Island's more here. Like you would take the keys out of the yacht.
I know.
Really not a wild pile in the South Island, but is there?
South Island would be very rural.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more vast, a lot
And
more
everybody-
rural, a lot
and every-
less populated. Where North's very densely populated compared to
Were
the
you
South.
far away from the nearest town?
Wakatane well, Edgecombe we called more like a village. Like that was 2 minutes away. And then Wakatane was 15, 20 minutes away.
Our nearest like proper big town was 15 minutes. But it's weird. Everyone closes really early.
I
See,
like.
like
But
shops,
they all probably open really early too, but do
not
they?
really.
No, not really,
It's
no.
so weird.
Just a more.
Nobody
laid
does
back-
late nights out there.
Not really. Like shops maybe close at like fucking 7 or 8. Like it is weird.
Because I know
It's
a
not
lot.
nice, but when you come
No.
into town, you're looking for food and you're like, ah, no.
Yeah, I know 100%.
But Pizza Hut stays open at 11.
We
Great.
had McDonald's and Burger King and Pizza Hut in Wakatane. Like.
Oh, jealous.
And there was 3 takeaways and Edgecombe. They shut well early. They shut at 7 o'clock. Bar 1 had stayed open to 9, but that was a rumbler one. But if you were hungry, like I still would have done.
For,
But you see, the first year I was out, like for us to go into your grocery shop, like it was like a 45-minute drive. But we were very lucky. We had a wee pub just next door to the yard. An old man and woman owned it, and they treated me like family. They were like my New Zealand mother and father nearly.
But how many people?
They said as long as the lights on, like they closed at maybe 9 o'clock, they done food and they were a pub. But they says as long as the lights on above the back door come you on, and we'll make you someone did every time. I mean, we rung them one night at 11 o'clock and they made us dinner and we left it and we passed.
But how many people, like, if you're saying it's a really vast area, like, and there's that wee pub, like, how many people at any stage would actually be in that town? Like, or is that like, how is that pub even managing to pay to keep the lights open?
Aye, but the people were going back and forward, on that was like a, the road, like a main,
Oh,
not a
okay,
main issue.
right.
There still wasn't wild cars on, but there are a lot of local farmers, and a lot of houses still parked out. Like there was 2 wee pubs. That was a wee quieter pub, the one you could food and all, and people would want to have for food and stuff.
Aye, okay.
Well, the other one would have been where people went for a few drinks.
Aye,
They'd want the other one that was only 15 minutes away
yes.
up the road. Like that was really busy there in the night. Like you went on. Like I knew all the local farmers, not even ones that we didn't do any work for at all.
You
They were
just
all
got
on
to
the
know
pub
them,
drinking
aye.
and chatting.
Suppose that out there with it being such a rural area, that's probably the hub.
It is.
That is the hub.
That's the biggest difference I noticed in South. Like the pub wasn't the same. Like unless you were going with a credit, you take the pub, but you wouldn't. Like you see the pubs in the South Island. Like even if you were only going to get a coke and chat shite, you'd want your cell.
Aye.
Where in the North Island, like if you're going to the pub, you'd need to take 2 or 3 wee because otherwise you don't really have anybody to talk to. It's a bit.
Unless you go on to that place in Queenstown and...
That's South Island.
okay, go
But
figure.
still,
yeah.
that's a city. But it just happened. I don't know what that bar is like any other. But you see on New Year's, that was really enjoyable. But anybody that's thinking of going just needs to go. It is brilliant, as Charlie said there. Like
well, like maybe it's silly to ask, but is there times like obviously if you're flat out busy, you're not really going to, but does homesick come into it much?
for
Start at that.
Like you,
You're saying no?
no. I'll let Charlie finish there first, and I was going to say what I was going to say. Go ahead, Charlie,
But at
finish
the
after.
start, I did. But another big thing, stick it out the first 2 months.
is it the worst for the first 2 months? of your
I
time?
found it was. the first month, second month, I found I did struggle a bit because you know nobody. You know nobody. You don't know where to go for stuff.
You feel lost.
You kind
Bit
of
of a
do.
deer in the headlights.
But there's a lot of people that I've heard of that don't stick out the start of it. And if you don't stick out the start of it, you'll be away home and you'll regret it.
But I'd imagine they're the people that have the bad experience to go out.
Yeah.
Didn't know anybody, was on a
I know,
farm,
yeah.
didn't know any of the ground, farmer didn't understand, blah, blah, blah. So I agree, you need a person to lead it.
Playing difference from talking to ones even at home, would that have been a bit of a struggle?
It wasn't actually.
Not really, no.
No, because sure, whenever you're
Getting up, you're going
getting
to bed.
up, everybody at home is maybe home from work or lying about the house. You can ring them, or vice versa. You're coming home, people are getting up, and all that sort of stuff.
I actually found even with work, when in previous job, like I dealt with New Zealand and Australia, and I actually found it was easier to communicate with them boys because there was that period of time from if I got up, say I was maybe from 7 to 9 or 7 or maybe 6 to 9 in the mornings, you know, we'd have had a chat and I'd have been on with them boys and it was handy then. Whereas I found whenever I was working in America, you're 6 hours behind to 8 hours behind, and that's actually more lonely because you're finishing work, say at 6 o'clock, and everybody's going to bed. So you can see what everybody's written in the group chat. You're replying to everything, and you'll get nothing. You wake up the next morning, everybody has replied, but then you're away to work, and they're all coming home. So while you're more up to date, you feel it's very lonely because you're just always missing out in the crack unless someone can't sleep and they're sitting texting you at 1 a.m.
No, it's New Zealand's handy because there's a dead spot in the middle of the day when you're really busy. It's actually so 12, where in the morning when you're getting started, or the evening, that's your morning and night here. So your only dead spot is the middle of the day. But I was the same as Charlie. You see, the first 2 months I died of homesickness, but
Really?
I wasn't giving in. The first time I was out, I died of homesickness, but it was very lonely because it was only me. And the first 2 weeks, it was only me in the house. I was living in it. It was only me, there's nobody else.
Oh fuck, that would be tight going.
Only that wee pub I was telling you about, that old man and woman, I used to go up to them at night time and sat and had a beer and a meal or whatever, and they kept me in company.
Oh, well, fair play to them, like.
And then the boss, some nights I just had to stay down with him and the wife and maybe had a few beers with him.
Do you think if you maybe hadn't had that wee pub or a dead-on boss and, you know, a dead-on boss like that, where you could go and have a yarn with them, if you were working to, say, someone who he's like, I don't talk to the boys, or he just was maybe someone a bit more introverted, do you think you would maybe have struggled?
I had a struggle, but I still wouldn't give in because I'm at Thran. Like a boy told me before I left, he says, I'll see you in the Well on Friday night. The Well's the local pub. And I says, I'll fucking
go and
show
fuck
you.
yourself. Yeah.
And what he called, I rung him that Friday night and I says, are you in the Well? He says, no. And I says, well, neither am I.
Prick.
But
Bang.
what do you call it? I stuck it out. Like, you see, the first 2 months, like, was wild lonely. And then once I got into the work and stuff, I was loving it. The sun was out and everything else, and made a few friends. And that Welshman and all, met him and stuff. And then Trust, and he was working to a neighbouring contractor, but he ended up in the same house as I was on. There's
So you didn't work together? You just worked, right? Okay.
So there's the two of us. There was the two of us. Me and Ian. Ian was the Canadian I worked with. He worked the same boy as me. Then there was another room in the house, and then the other contractor couldn't talk to our boy and put Tristan in the house. And I didn't know him. And Tristan would be a quiet person. Fun, I was chatting on the phone on the way over here, and I said I was going to mention him. But what do you call it? Like, he was a quiet person, but anybody knows me knows I'm a wee bit sort of, you know what I mean? I could talk to that wall there, and I might get a conversation out of it. And what do you call it? Just me and him started chatting because Ian was a very hyperactive person. He liked to go away and travel and everything else, and I'm not really like that. So he went away on his wee adventures. He just wanted to go on his wee adventures himself. We let him and me and Tustin lay in the house. Or since he worked a different boy, he had his own pack up.
Yes.
So me and him was sailed about or went to the pub or whatever, and it was handy and we got on well. And then the next year I was going out, the man I was going to needed another man, and I says, since I'd loved Tustin, I knew what he was capable of. And he came out to me, and the next time,
Yeah.
well, he didn't come out to me. He was coming to the same place, but he was in America working, and I was at home. So then I come, and then the week after he come, sort of thing. But we flew home together, right? Enough. He's from Cavan. And like the second year I went to go out, I just done the same thing. Only I done it a wee bit more in advance. I put onto that iJobs NZ group on Facebook, and then I got to win offers. And the manager Campbell, he texted me and started going on what all he was to do and all. And I was like, this sounds like a bit of me here. I had to get and do the mowing, and then the boy that was doing the baling, he pulled out. Then I ended up doing the baling. So I ended up baling 11 or 12,000 bales out there that year. We had go well baler,
Only a few.
and oh dear, she was not a good yuck. She was
Are
not
they Dutch or German or
Austrian.
Austrian? You just thought they'd have been alright.
Well, obviously we're a politically correct podcast, probably, Michael, but I'm not going to say what an Austrian and something that doesn't go that well. The word that it was called, I'm not going to say on the podcast because I don't want you to get cancelled. But there are a lot of choice words. Like I fell out to the manager one day with the head of the biller. But I mustn't have fell out too bad because then like 2 or 3 days later we were straight again and he'd asked me to come back again. So I'm actually getting back again now in October.
You're heading back. Are you heading back as well, Charlie?
Hopefully, that's the plan.
Do you want a job?
No, I'm not well.
Alright, no, we need another man. Like.
No, so you have a job lined up ready to go to?
I think this.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
Well,
Unless it changes, but
since you have came home then from New Zealand, obviously Taylor used it to sell Pottinger stuff, used to have the back contract there as well. Charlie, what have you got up to?
working to contract beside me, Conor McLaren.
Shout out Connor. He does listen.
Big shout out.
Allegedly does it most of her mowing and baling work.
You slagged his wheels one day in this pod.
Tut.
I didn't actually slag them. I was essentially saying I'm admiring how much you can pack into the bale. It's just unfortunate for me because I burst them easier. So his good bale is making them easier for me to burst. But I could just be a bad driver. And in a few weeks' time,
You'll see that.
you'll see that.
Can Michael please take videos of us so we can see it?
You'll all see it, don't worry. That's it.
Yes, it's right at the start. I make the big statement.
It's very, very fun.
And see, whenever you're watching it, Taylor, do not be judging my driving of the 6290.
Oh my god, that's it bad, like.
I'll let you make your
I actually hate it driving it. Like.
See, to be
hated it.
fair, right?
It was horrible.
If you keep slagging us
See
actually
Dana
290, Michael, I'm going to unfriend you on Facebook.
And delete you. And I might just even delete you on Snapchat.
See Dana Shift compared to Dana 4. When you're when you've been basically grew up in Dana 4 and you moved to Dana Shift, it's not that it's a completely different ball game, but it took me at least a day.
There's still 3
to get
working days between ranges. Like.
fully on. No, not even. It took me a good day to get on to
Unfriend.
like the way I was driving.
Are you a
It,
John Deere man?
Oh, I
Right, so have you ever done Command Quad?
command quad.
Aye.
What is Command Quad?
it's not very-
Actually, tiny stack.
That's a wee tiny stick. It's
No.
like a Dyna 6 only in a John Deere. That's the worst
No,
gearbox
I've
space.
never-
So
I've
just as
never
near laughing there, I just thought I would get that dig on there.
No, I've never done
Your
that.
man at 2 AMs I worked in New Zealand, and you see whenever you went from one range to the other, like she had to send an email to Germany. I wait to the opened.
I went to the following day for a response.
She was a jumpy old bastard. She's a cunt at tractor. Fuck, she was bad.
I to be fair, I've drove very little deers and I have driven
Aren't
all
you
in
lucky?
Power Quad.
That's a
Per
very
quad,
controversial-
I had
that's a
to
very-
get
that's
I
a
had
very
to get an
controversial statement, but I don't like driving John Deere's. If they're very, they're not too bad.
The only time I've
Never
driven
I can't even unfriend you on Facebook. I'm not friends with you.
Probably no John Deere men have to go to Turkey to get an extension of their arm to fit to
As we-
No, you don't. It's right there.
Aye, what do you well, ours aren't too bad, but on AM, like when you're
Oh.
whenever you get into Top Gear, like your arms are different postcode. to your arms.
That's what I mean.
10 series is.
No, it's like they took a 30 and a 10 and took all the good stuff out of it and then stuck a new bonnet on it. That's
That
the
literally is it.
AM stands for moderately tolerable.
I honestly would take a 30 over an M any day.
So
Like,
would
like,
I.
I bought a premium man.
Who doesn't love a 30? Even me as a diehard massive man
Aye.
loves a 30.
But
love a
it had to be a premium though.
No, not necessarily.
I thought the whole idea of the M's was the R's was the premium and the M's weren't premium.
I know, but if you
M,
get a 30
and also it stands for
series,
miserable.
a 30 series premium has the interior and the cab of an R shape.
Yeah, because it's premium.
Aye, but if you get the standard 30 series, it's basically 10 series.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Your literally arm is in the next postcode.
But there's still some. There is some.
There
good-
is like a wee button here for up and down, but it also has like a hazard light switch at a 3350. Or no, how long is 3050 is actually a push button? So I took that step and back.
I've done very little driving on a 50 series at all. Like
They are the rod.
But out of curiosity, for your opinion, when you're using Dynashift and you'd never really used it before,
You have it loved, man.
That's weird.
I found took off from 2 well load on, changed into 3, so 2A, changed into 3, and then changed into 4, and then went up the splitters. Then is that what you would do?
Usually, it depends what gear you're taking off. Usually I go to D in the first gear and then going up.
That's Dill
See,
said
I
too.
thought it was, see, from 3D to 4D. A wild jump, I thought, anyway. Like, the tractor nearly was like, taking it where...
I
you're-
can't even talk about driving because I don't think like the first tractor I ever drove was a Danish shift. Like I drove Danish shift all my life and still drive it to this day. Really,
Is the likes of the Renault Aries are like a 696 or any of them? Are they Danish shift?
yeah.
Yeah.
Gearbox is, I don't know about the Reynolds, but you take like a class, whatever you call that, gearbox in them, and a Danish 6 are both made by Gamo.
I've never driven
Oh,
a
they're
newer
both made-
class. Just the other
Gamo
ones.
makes the gearbox. Massey doesn't make it, or class doesn't make it. They buy it, but the software is different.
They said
So-
they said the class gearbox is the class is the better shifting tractor, but
They
less
say the
of delay.
software is better, but if you ever drove a class tractor, like
You'll know it's not.
you know, it's not.
I
like,
actually thought that...
I'd rather drive a 290 than drive a new class.
There's a not a contractor, but there's a farmer here, and he has like a fleet of classes, and that's all he ever buys. He had Reynolds back in the day, and now it's all classes.
Per man.
O'Higgins. That's all they have. Is all
I drove an
classes.
850 class or one morning. So the contractor I worked to, he had two uncles at farm, and they had an 850 class. We're getting wild out onto my opinions here. I'm going to be very unliked by the time this podcast is finished. But an 850 class, and I took her away an open mind. See, per her, I wasn't expecting much. Took her an open mind. I she was worse than I thought she was going to be. She was fucking horrible. He rang me to say, I grass it down if you can go and be on it. I said, no bar. And I'd over stood to the gate to the other boy come to swap me. I didn't even go up and down the field another time. I was just so glad to get there. Like, it's bad enough driving her, but after driving an 8S for 2 months and then driving that was, oh my goodness, that was bad.
Well, do you find that Massey went the right direction with the 8S?
Taking, like, you see when the 8S came out to start, before I seen a real one, I said, oh my god, look at that. That is so ugly. I'm buying a John Deere. And then I seen the first one come into the race, and I'm like,
I actually agree. When I seen them
I
come
quite
out,
like that.
when I seen them first, I was like, they're actually way.
And then I drove one. Now I drove real ones. Like another one of my many opinionated opinions is anything over 150 horse should be nearly a Vario standard. But what do you call
I
it?
don't know if I'd agree with that at all.
I would agree with that, yeah.
The gearboxes can't take a pair anymore, regardless what colour they're.
You think so?
With one reason. There are a lot of them don't give any bother, but there's a lot of that's all a lot to do with drivers and stuff too.
I'd have been under nearly anything under 250 shouldn't be allowed to be Vario.
Oh my god, Michael! Some of the stuff that you're coming out with is really debating.
I don't know.
No, you see, even take 200 horse, but you see if you're in the road, a gearbox is better in the road for pulling and stuff. But you see, when you get into fiddly bale or plough or anything, you would not work on anything else.
Well,
I think
to say that.
if Michael was ever given the opportunity, or ever had the opportunity, to literally spend, say, 2 or 3 weeks in a tractor table at park runners for 17 hours a day, and then get put into a area for 2 weeks to see your
But
opinion.
sure,
then.
like look, like last year, for example, like I always really could never get on to the Dyna 4. And sure, last year at your grass, I just jumped in the Massey and tooted away myself at my own pace. And then I was like, Michael, you want to drive your own tractor? And I'm like, do I have to? you get used to it. And the confidence, I was driving the TM this year. And it's a hell of a lot more comfortable in the face.
Well, like,
I was happy out. Like,
it's even the fact that whenever I first went out, it was all the gears and the noise. After a fucking week, fuck gears and fuck noise.
Oh, it's good for a while, but you see that 8S, like the first boy had an 8S and a Fent, and I went between the two. And the second boy, he had an 8S and he had another just fleet of masses. He had 18S's and 16s and all. They were all very written up. But the next year round, I got my own tractor.
okay.
We all had our own tractor. I got an 8S 265, and I was lucky I got the only one with an air cooled seat. But I put 1260 hours on her. And that was the best tractor I ever did. They're so comfortable. Everything's where you want it. They're agile for their size. They've power, they've grip. Like taking my Massey bias to it, like you see if it was a John Deere and a dove like that, I would say it's a brilliant tractor. Mm-hmm. Like everybody that knows me listens to say, oh, he's a Massey man. Oh, he'd say that anyway. But like, I didn't expect much at the start because I didn't know what to think of them. But to be fair, there are some tractors, like they've had their faults, don't get me wrong, with being a new thing. But that cab and everything is unreal.
I hate it. I thought it was absolute. Like I thought it looked like dog shit when it first came out.
Oh, until I seen the first real
then-
one, I was the same. I was changing brands. Like I really didn't like it.
You see the set, and like I've seen the 7S there, like even the show in January, and I was like, that's actually a really, really, really nice looking tractor. I actually really like that, but I think they need to be wide. I met a couple of 8S 225s on the road today, from a certain contractor who has a lot of Masseys up outside Derry, and it's some of the tires looked a wee bit skinny, and I was like, I don't know if that's the frame. It's like, but if they're in wide tires, they look class.
I like you put 650s and 540s on them, they do look nah.
Yeah, they need to have the 710s. Like I think.
Nah, well, that all really depends. But you know, the bigger the tractor, the bigger tires look, no matter what size they are. But I keep saying, oh, if I ever get a pile of money, I'd like a 7S, and then I dive an 8S for them. Like, no, I'll buy an 8S next. Like,
Yeah, I need S225. It would still be.
See if, in my opinion, going forward from last night, if they did it where essentially 8, 7, and 6S was all the new cab, and obviously they kept
that's common.
and then the M series became what the now
Your
7S and 6S.
your wee global range. I want. Well, I seen it. It's funny. I seen it in the Profi magazine. There, they are bringing the 7S should be out next year with that new cab on it.
I went and googled that afterwards after that conversation.
Oh, did we have that conversation the last
We
day?
did,
Oh, did you see the picture? I haven't even googled yet to see a better picture. I just seen it's only that size.
I wee tiny thing with a dump tiller on or a Joskin tiller on.
Something like that.
And then supposedly the Fendt 5 litre 4-cylinder will be going into the new 6S. So there's 4.9 in now. So the new 620 is a 5 litre 4-cylinder. So that'll probably be in the new 6S.
Well, that'll be 200 horsepower then.
Well,
Apparently they're
a
good
6S 180 is 180 horsepower anyway, so 200 horsepower is no white lot.
They're meant to be capable in another 20 or 30 horse.
Holy shit.
Like you see driving them 6S, 6, 7, 15s and stuff. Like they are a great tractor for the size and the power and all. But I were like, well, there's no. You see, I see like I'm in them master group stuff on Facebook. You see ones out there 10,000 euros, but it's a lot of power and a lot of wear for a 4-cylinder engine, but a 200 horse. That's what would worry me. But they seem to be doing all right. But it's still in my head, like you know what I mean.
See, just back to one other thing. I seen a TikTok there recently of boys out in New Zealand. The roads. What are the roads like compared to, like, there's some bad back roads here, but at least there's still tarmac on
They're
most of them.
Great compared to home.
Depends on the area.
Depends on the
I
area,
seen-
but
but I
around
seen-
us where they
I
weren't
seen
rough at all.
videos of boys straight drawn, 2 strapping wagons and a rake, and they literally looked like they were going around a dirt track. I thought it was like somewhere in Brazil or Kenya or something like that there, but it wasn't. It was New Zealand.
Deers, because that could have been Charlie, because he has a drone in it.
Do you buy a drone when you're out there too? I should die.
They're great fun, like.
What sort of drone do you buy? I bought a DJI Mini 4 Money. Or no,
Literally,
Mini 4 Pro. That's what I bought.
I think it's the exact same one.
So we're probably
We're
going to
trying to buy one of them
gonna buy too.
Oh, literally, I bought one and everybody else had to get buying one too. I was the first one. I set the trend. Like there were 4 of us with drones at the stage out of the 5 overseas workers.
Drone wars.
No,
Trying to
they
count
are.
their
Well,
drones.
I was always away in the village. I was usually away myself or away with a rake man. Like so it wasn't too bad.
Did you just let her go and you film while you were
Well, you
driving?
were fat to like you get a Mini 4 and a Mini 4 Pro. The Pro you could set her that she follows the tractor now. But when you were in a nice place, you were fit to fly her now. Like when I was mowing, if you were in a good paddock that you knew you already mowed before and knew there's no obstacles on it, you'd have just set the auto steer up and you flew her about. Same when I was sowing, when I sowed all the grass, I sowed 2,400 acre of grass, and I had auto steer on. I flew the drone about the very best. That's a real bugger whenever you had to load it on with 25 kg bags. And someone they might have been in the shade, but that door mightn't have been there, and it might have been where that there Kiara is there. And you'd had to take it through that end door. She'd have had to carry a ton of seed out and have to wee 25 kg bags and up steps of shore. And I have video proof from it, but it doesn't believe me.
The reason why I asked that is I seen that video and all them tractors had the wider tires as well, and that's why I was kind of wondering, like, is it that hectic? Do you have places as bad as that, or is that just one particular example where this is particularly mental and everything else is actually not that
What,
bad?
Ben Steep, you mean?
Between steep and those roads that literally they were going along the side of a cliff.
No, not around me. You don't really
Certain areas it's like that. Like there was only one place I was on a cliff road, and that was the place that I was saying earlier about the 3 fields, and I only let them off in one place. So I had to go up and down that. I had to go up the track twice and down it twice because I had to go and get 2 balers.
So what was your scariest experience in a tractor right there then? Just because I am very interested in hearing about the hills and all that stuff. Like, maybe you didn't have any really?
Probably going for the first slide down a hill. Well, not a far slide, but we were going down, near enough straight down whenever I was behind the harvester for maize. You were going down and then you were turning to go back up again, but before I went down the turn, she just jackknifed down into the corner.
Oh.
Fairly.
Well, see
You
if
just put your foot down, but it woke you up.
like If you do have a boo boo or whatever out there, would it be sound with you like?
It depends how and what you do.
I would agree, but that would be the same over here. Like,
Aye, but you see, if there's a fuck up, I see unless it's on you being completely and utterly stupid, they're pretty sound about it. Like usually, you just need to buy a box of beer.
Yeah. If you get stuck, buy a box beer.
because like you see things where you'll see someone coming in with a trailer and you'll be like, oh, there's a load of silage in that thing would have been gone. Say maybe they cut a corner a wee bit or something like that. But you could nearly say if they did tap it, and you're like, okay, that's kind of your fault. That's stupid. But if the trailer unhitched or something like that there, or something broke on the tractor and the trailer unhitched, like that's not anybody's fault.
Anybody in my experience, there's no shouting or running. It's like, fucking A, mate. That's a handle. Oh, we'll send shit. We'll send the maintenance guy out. Just,
Is it because they make good enough money?
that's because I think it is down to there's just a lot less pressure.
Aye.
There's just, you know what I mean?
Like a tine and a rake couldn't break at a worse time whenever you know that you've still 160 acres to go in.
And you see the
there's
service
rain
they get
coming
out there
over.
from dealers, but if something does go wrong, you're wasting your time here.
Could you not adopt that?
I do adopt that. I'd like to thank all my customers. I think we provide a great service. But you see in general, but you see how far you're away from dealers and the service you get.
I'm kind of half joking here. Because helicopters and stuff is a big thing in Australia, I don't know if it's a thing in New Zealand. Is it a thing?
Oh,
in
it
New
is
Zealand?
it is.
But they wouldn't.
Them's cool to watch a boy spraying a field with a helicopter. Like,
I just can't imagine how that would be
I don't know. I don't understand it either, but it's still pretty cool to
financially
watch.
effective.
Stick cry.
But what's the story with that? They said something about like, do they put the cattle on the flat and then they farm the steep, or is it the other way about?
No, it's not really. You wouldn't call it a rule. Like, just whatever way it is, sort of
Because I've
thing.
heard one saying that before. It's like, put the cattle on the flat ground and we'll work away in the steep in the tractors. And I'm just like,
Or many of the state place I was like, there many places you went to a tractor, like you wouldn't even think about going on the tractor here.
that's what I'm kind of asking. Like, is it like when I say about scary experience, like what even at home here do we have that even relates anything to that?
Nothing really
Nothing.
to the bad stuff out
As
there.
stupid as it sounds, is it like where you put sheep here, you're mowing silage?
Oh, aye.
So like the Glen Sheen.
No, like not the Glen Sheen, like the fucking.
I think Glen Sheen grass on it, aye.
Is it like the side of the top of the fucking mountain of Cushendall or the side of the cliff or something out there where you probably wouldn't go
I
with?
watched them doing that in Norway. In fairness, it was pretty hectic.
It's hard to explain, but not everywhere's like that. But you see places of folk work on steep ground, like folk work on steep ground.
Yeah. There's a cousins that steeper, very steeper from where I was at, and they're doing that with lorries.
Some
It's like
True, yeah.
10 years. I went for a sail on Monday and I was surprised how they could climb.
see, there were boys. Were you anywhere near what do you call it?
Five.
Typo.
Aye.
Typo. There were the boys from next door to me. Even Typo. Typo was only what? It was 2 years away. So I haven't done twice. I haven't twice since. I was doing twice and seen them. I went out and all on the Saturday night stuff, but they could see the ground they were working on. That was horrible. I wasn't the worst anyway.
That's Admir's near that. It is horrendous.
Pritchard contact they were working to. You killed the crowd.
The only thing is because you see, I've seen videos of boys saying like you need to have the right man on a forage harvester because if they blow the road, they blow the shoot the wrong way and it goes into the wrong bit of the trailer or something. Like that.
So much steep ground, aye. But
That's like to me. That's like I'm thinking even whenever we're going up the hills there, whenever we were at my grass, like and Dylan was like, that hill kind of goes up and there's a bit of a thing like that there. And he's like, I'd just be worried about trailer going over, and I was like, I never even thought that. But like that wouldn't
That was
that's nothing like.
I mean, I was on you that time and that there wasn't a step. And they would have listened to the two way to say step and that, but we're fairly tuned up at all right. But a harvester man time this one time and he started right. The harvester man's responsible for the tiller until it touches the tarmac.
Yeah. They'll tell you where to go and steep stuff. If you're
Aye.
not sure, or you just follow them.
And type it, like, you know, within reason, like if you're full or whatever, or empty diving in the field and you dive on the wet spot, it's already your fault. But you see, if you're going up a horse on, he should judge where you put the stuff in the tiller and stuff
And
like that
is
there.
is it a case of you just put the wheel to the probably the trailers are that big, you're probably not going just rear wheel to the rail, or do you just do you let them follow you, or do you
Well,
follow your own
New
road?
Zealand, the boy, I tried to follow my own load because I have it doing it here. I'm not saying I'm any good at it, but I still try it nonetheless.
We all do like.
But the boy said, I spent so much money on a harvester and the spout on it moves. Just you sit there and I'll follow the tiller.
You don't follow your own road.
I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah, but you don't fill your own load. It's weird, but you don't fill your own load.
But
Even
one of
me,
those
it's not
things,
like-
you just go out, if you're going, you do what you're told,
Yeah.
and as long as you do what you're told and get on to it, the opportunities will come.
Yes. And even with the place I was at, like they train you on the way they want it done.
Aye, like, don't go out thinking,
Don't go out thinking that you're going to do it your way, because you're not.
You just get shouted.
You get shouted at, and if you don't listen, then get the road.
Aye.
But you learn how to do it their way, and sometimes it is the better way. To be honest, like
is there times where it's not the better?
Yes.
the odd time, but you can't argue. Just
Well,
behaviour shot.
Did they ever take any pointers from you?
The odd time.
Very odd
When they
time.
understand you.
They bought 2 down others. So listen to me for that one.
Great others.
That'd have been a wild expense, I suppose, maybe trying to get them imported.
No, there what do you call it? Brown rag aggregate imports them out there. Like we had 2 herring fillers in the place where Anna Macaulay low loader.
That's
Like,
class. I love that.
like
I
I-
love seeing stuff like that.
Ironically, like, for the likes of that, you know, they're buying the stuff manufactured here type of thing.
Oh, sure.
But machinery's wild dear out there.
Yeah.
Wild dear.
Yeah, like we were looking at, like even when I worked in the wash plants and the quarries, what it was costing. We looked in to getting stuff actually made in New Zealand instead of here, and even by the time we had it made here and shipped, because it was to try and solve lead time, I said you either buy it here and that's what it is, or you pay 3 times the price to get it made over there. And they
Like
went,
you take like the first boy I worked at, Chris, he bought a new class front mower, and not the move one, the ordinary front mower, and it was $50,000, which is 25,000 their money roughly.
steep enough.
Like, and at that time I was selling a new Pottinger front mower, the Alpha Motion one. Like at that time I think they were 16,000. So there's an extra 10,000 just for front mower, and that's the basic one. Like the class move one, which would be the class equivalent, like that was more again. Like that was 2023. I'd hate to think what it does today. Like you take an ordinary mower here today is about something around that 18,000 mark.
Absolutely.
Like the price of machinery in general is ridiculous, but out there it's ridiculous and a bit more ridiculous piled on top of it. Yeah. But tractors aren't that dear out there. You know, compared to here, the tractors aren't that big a difference. You see the actual machinery to hook onto it as astronomical. Like you see a silage tiller out there, like a silage tiller out there's like 50 or 60,000,
Holy shit.
if not more, for a 16-ton herring. Like.
Boke.
But there is something cool about pulling a herring tiller on the other side of the world.
Yeah, 100%. Just need it like shipping out Fraser or something.
Like I can't wait to get a big P Donnelly hooked onto the back end of the SS town when I'm out drawing maize. I'm going to be like a ween at Christmas. That might actually, well, no, we don't cut maize at Christmas. It's sort of the end of January they start cutting that. Cutting the maize out there was class. That was my favourite part, I think.
Really?
Maize is
Oh,
the best experience.
You
ever.
see folk grow maize here's only wasting their time. You see the maize out there.
It's the height of the harvester. Like.
I mind going down the road one day, and this was gospel. I was going down the road to the store. I was going away to a faraway job to sow grass. And I looked over and Campbell was falling onto a lorry, and the only thing I seen was the bow at the top of the chute of the harvester.
So it makes financial sense to grow it over there.
But they've actually started using different brands of maize to try and shorten it a bit. That's how tall it was.
Yeah. To get-
Focus more on the cob to get better feeding
but as
value
you're
than actually
saying-
just stem.
they can grow ryegrass underneath it. They can sow grass underneath it. Is that not what they're doing?
No,
didn't see that when I was
I stood under I guess as soon as they cut the maize off.
Oh,
That's just direct drilled.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were 6 metre drill. Same as what you drill barley away, like just the dust in the front there and bang it back,
right,
6 metre tail drill.
Doing the growing both sort of together. I thought that's what you're doing. I
No,
was like,
they cut grass all year round.
see,
And
it's a
that part of the
proper
North
season.
Island I was.
That's what I remember.
You
them
see
saying
South
that.
Island you wouldn't. Like South Island's hard winters.
Really?
Oh, you see the second day I was there, it was snowing, like, and I mean it lay snow.
Ooh. And then turned into a drought.
Nah.
I suppose the North End really is that much further. You're like technically
Tropical.
going to Spain, really, in regards to geographical sense.
Well, it probably is more tropical. So
Well, it would be more tropical. Like, there's tropical trees now. It sounds stupid, you know.
no.
It's hard. You see the road to Rotorua. Rotorua was a big city. It wasn't a big city, but it was like a big place. I'd be like going to, I don't know.
Belfast.
I don't know, like,
Dublin.
hard to explain. No, not like
Galway.
Dublin, no. I've never been to Galway.
Okay, Cork,
It's hard to. I've never been to Cork either. Stop
Lisburn.
naming places I haven't been to. I don't know. It's like,
Lisburn.
Newry.
it's like go.
Never
It's
been to
sort of
Newry,
like going
fuck
to
off.
Belfast. To be fair, you could say Auckland is like London, but that'd be like Rotorua, like Belfast.
Aye.
And you see the road to Hat, like it's all trees and sort of vegetation, as you would say, and it's all like tropical trees and stuff, you know, I see. And then there's stuff like that, like it's that climate in the north. Like the North Island's completely different climate.
Yeah.
Like you go to Southland and South Island. I've never been on it, but looking at the videos and everybody I knew that worked on it, that's just like here. It's a wet hole.
People seem to prefer
Heavy
the North
crops,
Island.
heavy crops of grass, wet, sliping, spawning, raking, tearing. That's what apparently Southland's like. And then you go up onto Otago, which is the central Otago. I was on Sackles right, the dead centre of the South Island. That was a desert. Then you go a wee bit further north. Don't even know what it was like. That was still dry, but it was a wee bit more rain.
Yeah.
And the further north you go, the more it seemed to be better balanced. Like you see where I was, like I was trying to think now at the map. Like if you were looking at the map, I was on the right hand side on the coast.
Yeah.
But it was like you had the perfect amount of rain, but you also had the perfect amount of sun.
Enough rain to get the crops to grow, enough sun to get it dry and with no pressure.
But it was all dairy farms, like there was no crop. It was all dairy farms, maize and grass.
Class. That's all. Any final thoughts? We'll probably wrap this up here, but after this, we're over an hour 40 at the minute. Yeah, you can talk.
Have you noticed it going?
No, I sort of forgot we're on a podcast.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
I'm probably going to forget half the stuff I said whenever I listen back to it. People hanging on to their mouse that.
Like, any final sort of words about it? I know you said just go, you're thinking about it, but is there anything else, like any other advice you would offer to young ones, lads or
Book
ladies?
an expensive flight.
Book the expensive flight?
Yep. You see, when you're flying, go on to Emirates direct. Now, I know the whole war thing at the moment's a bit unsettled. It mightn't just be with Emirates, but some of them airlines, like I flew the first time, South Island, I flew from Dublin, Dubai, Brisbane, and then stayed into Queenstown. When the last time I went going to the North Island, I went Dublin, one stop, and Dubai, Auckland. I was New Zealand. And then I got a wee commercial flight down to where the area in New Zealand I was working on. Like then when the friends of mine, I told them book a dear flight. They booked a cheap flight. They stopped 3 or 4 times on the road over. They were travelling for like 3 days. 24 hours from I left Dublin, I was standing in New Zealand. Book a dear flight every time. There's only maybe £400 of difference on it, but it's well worth it, and you'll make it back if you go to the right place.
Yeah. No, I'd be inclined to agree with that. Because even I've said once you go on a flight past 6 hours, book the better seats. If you're going to the States, book the better seats.
But you know my biggest problem is I couldn't sleep a whole road there and a whole road back. I never slept one week in any of them planes.
No, I did. I was lucky enough that way.
No, I
can
didn't
sleep
sleep.
on the way out, can never sleep on the way back.
I never slept anyway, and believe me, it's a long, long, long fucking shit.
It is.
You should have listened to us. Should have been out immediately.
Eh?
You should have listened to us. Should have been out of sleep immediately. You'd be bored stupid.
That's a good idea. I don't think of that there. But like the advice I would give is I book that dear flight, and you see for the hours nearly you're spending, and go to somewhere that is machine that you want to drive.
Yeah.
True.
So if you like John Deere's
Try
straight,
and go down
or New
Because
Holland,
whenever you are doing big hours, but then you're doing big hours here too.
But then, look, as much as I am a New Holland man or whatever, like, if I went out to a place that had a load of deers, because I don't really get to drive a wild pile of tractors, I'd just be sort of happy to drive whatever, I think.
See, I wasn't that bothered to an extent. Like, I wanted to drive mass, but not that wasn't the end of the world. Like, last year I nearly ended up going to a place in New Holland because it was a place that all the local men went to.
Yes.
And then just that other offer suited me better at the time and stuff, so that's why I went for that.
And would you say, I know we've kind of touched on this already, and you said you both went out on your own, would you go somewhere kind of that maybe nobody else has been to, or would you go somewhere where you said like New Holland fella, all the local lads went there, or would you give someone else a
It's
try?
nice to have that peace of mind that you know the place you're going to is good, but at the same time,
It's good to go out on your own.
I would recommend get out on your own, because it all worked alright the second time I went out, because I wanted the boy that I knew was capable, because I loved him.
Yeah.
I knew just like to love way, and I
Yeah.
knew just like to work way. But the problem is, you sort of feel like that person's hanging on to you. If that person is for nothing, even if he is your best mate, if he's for nothing, it makes a lot of fuck up. Or maybe he doesn't have attitude to work with people.
Aye.
It sort of has a reflection on you to an extent. I would
It's
feel.
like you brought him here.
Aye.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
get
mean?
that.
And you feel like, and it might, I feel like it would maybe, depending on your personality type, obviously it wouldn't bother me as much. But some people, I would nearly stop you being that more outgoing to make new friends out there.
Yeah. No, you
hang on to that one person where
or you
don't integrate as much with everybody else.
You would be out with, and then like that other one person, you'd be like, I can't go
or
off of them
if
lads
you take
'cause I have to
somebody
look
away,
after
if
him.
you take somebody away and they don't like somebody else that you work with, but you don't mind them, and you sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound, but like, I think people are feared to go themselves, but another thing, and I think Charlie said as well, like you see that homesickness, stick it out.
You have to. If you don't, you're
Stick it
wasting
out.
No time.
And you see after, like the first 2 months is hard, but you see after that, you see if you're not enjoying it, there's something wrong with me. If you're on a decent place, like I was a decent place, good cat, good people, good area. Everything looks just like heaven on earth, really.
Yeah, no, look, I hear if I was my situation obviously at home growing up was a bit different. I couldn't do it, but see if things had been different, when we were still farming here at home or whatever, I'd have been away. I'd have 100% finished uni and I'd have been away. Like no bother would have done it.
It was just a adrenaline thing to do, like.
So good you're doing it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was cool.
Basically,
Class.
and your man was that good to me the last time I was out.
You kind of nearly felt you.
I sort of nearly felt like I owned some, but I still wanted to go anyway.
Aye.
But like the last thing he done for me, this is how good he is. This is trying to put a reflection on the type of people some of them are. So we booked our flight from me and Tussin both booked our flight, booked them ourselves, but the same plane. Booked a flight home, and we booked a wee flight from Wakatani Airport, which was like from here to Claddishapaway, which is very short distance for people who don't know. Like it was only 5 minutes away, if even, and from there to Auckland to the big main airport, then to get the international flight over.
Yep.
And I left enough of time for any fuck ups, and flight kept getting delayed anyway. Nobody could tell me what the fuck this plane was. And I was like, we're not going to make our Auckland flight. So I rung Emirates and I sat on the boss's jeep and he was sitting beside me. And because Kyle, one of our overseas workers, he was going up to Auckland the next day to get his visa for America. He had to go to the embassy for it.
Okay.
And we said, he can dive us up. So he's going up in the morning. Even if we get a flight at night, we'll just fuck about. And that's what I ended up doing. And it was $800 to change the flight over to the next day. But the flight was $2,800, $800 for nothing to change it. Like £1,400, it works out at roughly. And the boss heard £800, and you see, before the two of us after 2 phone calls, he had $800 transferred onto our account for changing flights over. Like we booked our own flights, but he just felt the need. He transferred $800 onto both our accounts without us asking. I couldn't believe it.
Fair play.
Fair play.
That's
as well.
class.
Oh, the nicest man I ever met in my life, Murray Harvest. I definitely could not recommend them people enough. Campbell and all the rest, like great people.
Deadly. Well, we can probably finish up now, lads. Thanks very much for coming on. That was
A very last minute.
very
but,
last minute, but very
really
much worth
appreciate
it, boys. Thank you.
It
Cheers.
was- hopefully you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
Aye, good enough, crack.
Not going to say no on this.
It's just knowing that I have to listen to myself now chatting pure shite.
Well, you don't have to. You can't skip it.
No, I'm still
You
going
do,
to
I
listen
do,
to it
just
in
not
case I said something incriminating or anything, You never know who will be listening to this. Like, I don't know how big your reach is. Like, it's more than just me listening to your podcast, I would think.
Probably not, no.
Hi. Like as I said earlier, that was some crack.
I like literally 2 minutes ago. But obviously there's been like an hour and a half since. But yeah, no, like for an impromptu podcast, that was class. That was savage. Like we could have talked there for 6 hours. Like I just listen to the stories.
Like don't get me wrong, you get many folk that like are well known and all on a podcast, but sometimes you just get two lads that are
Just
gems
good.
of fellas,
Just
and
good
it
crack.
just works, and it's just good crack.
Especially
And
when
I
they're both
hope
good
whenever
speakers.
they hear that they both enjoyed doing it, and I hope that like yous all enjoyed it as much as like we did anyway making it.
And if you are genuinely thinking of going to New Zealand, like take the advice from the lads. Like just do it.
You literally get the very organised way and the on the spot. I want to do this kind of way.
And you get a full proper season. Not 2 weeks here and then 4 weeks of rain and then another week here. 3 months of straight grass, like, and not the same level of pressure. Just sure, what more do you want?
Exactly, and partly they pay really good out there too.
Aye, which they don't hear. So
Well, we don't actually know if they don't hear, but going by the stories you hear from times gone by,
I can
hard
say the
to-
right men are well enough looked after. In fairness, like that's not fair. But otherwise there would be nobody drawing sides around the country. But yeah, we've all got our stories from other people.
But
who-
just in a nutshell, though, I seen a TikTok and it was like, what is it about chopped grass going in the trailers with a big machine gets literally every farmer at full mast every year?
Someone commented that under actually the video of the Fate. He says, "What is it about people just getting mad for this?" And I was like, and someone else just replied, going, "If you have to ask, you'll never understand."
Like, but when you put it in a nutshell, it is kind of hard to understand. But there's something just deadly about it.
Yeah, I think the smell, the noise,
Good weather.
I just think there's something class about seeing. I just love silage. I just love silage season. Like I love it. Like Anyway, Connor, where can you find us in the socials?
You can find us if you're. So you can find us at Limited Slip Differences on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, the works. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and put a comment. And if you're listening to us on Spotify,
Rate us 5 stars, please. That'd be greatly appreciated.
and please subscribe. Don't be feared to. And for those that have ventured into the Patreon, thank you so much for your support.
We should really promote that more.
We're getting the videos out there continually, and hopefully you're basically enjoying that very raw style of content.
Yeah.
Michael, where can everybody find you?
Well,
social
here I
media.
haven't posted anything myself in so long, but it's at Michael Scullin _ on everything.
And I'm at Connor.magoo, and
Neither we both don't really. I post. I try to put everything now through the podcast.
I
Like all the pictures of like the tractor and all. It all now goes in the podcast. Even the car and stuff. I'm trying to get it all on the podcast page.
a small note. See, when you're younger, you're like, how does older folk never use Facebook? Like older folk, like whenever you're in your early 20s or your late teens, and you're looking at like the 30-year-olds. Now that I am the 30-year-old, I totally get it.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Best luck, folks. See you later.
Bye bye.